What's up, Donna? What's up? Hey guys. Hey, it's snowing. Well, about to be. Like while we're live, it is going to be snowing. And I'm saying that gleefully because we don't have snow here. Not very often. Okay, I've got to figure out how to pick up some damn algorithm besides uh, you know, maybe not cursing, maybe not smoking, maybe not sharing the research that we share here, you know. Maybe it'll settle down after the inauguration. Hey Trace, how are you? How are you, Donna? Yeah, I'm ready to just get on with it. I hope it does snow so the kids can play in it. Yeah, they're at their mom's, but it'll snow. I think it's Jason is like on top of the map right now, so it's good to see him excited about just excited about anything right about now. So, whew, it's been crazy, you know? And it reflects, you know? I mean, it just, ever since he got out of the hospital, I know you don't come here for his updates, but you know what I'm saying? He's part of my life, and you know what I mean? But ever since he got out of the hospital this last time, they operated or they did a procedure and took out a lot of his ulcers. And that boy has been eating uh like like my 15-year-old. I'm just like, holy crap, you know. So yeah, I'm like, wow. I mean, it's just good. I guess he probably misses eating the way I, I eat or you eat. And so, I mean, it's got to be hard on the psyche, much less the body. So, anyways, but he seems to be on the mend and he's in better spirits and he is excited about this snow. So, I had to I was fighting with the bamboo because we have that line right there, the same one that whenever they were doing jury selection for Chad, right? And I was streaming it and we had a storm blow through. What the hell was that kind of accent? Blow through, and we had a tree snap. My only little cute little tree. Well, I have a magnolia tree over there, and our other ones are dying. You know, since the hurricanes, and Westlake Petro or whatever was like. It smelled like straight chlorine. I'm like, well, that's probably why all the trees are dying. I mean, it was bad. But that tree, that little baby tree, I don't even know what kind it was, but it snapped. And so I was sitting out there holding it up, trying to get it away from the line so that it wouldn't, first off, cut electricity to my house. And I couldn't reach my phone to call Leland inside the house. It was nuts, y'all. The things I do that probably should be caught on camera, but I'm so glad that they're not. Thank you. Because it's embarrassing, I'm just like, "How do I get myself in these situations?" I was fighting with bamboo earlier. It's cool. It makes really cool noise, and it pops. It makes popping noises in the, fire, it's like, "Pow." But, it really sucks when it gets heavy with rain, or in this case, it'll be snow and wet ice stuff. So, it's 36 right now, but it's supposed to plummet into the 20s, by the time I get off here. So, I live in a mobile home, so I did the pipes or whatever, and so I was gassed, okay? When Jason got back, I was, like, I was getting beat up by the bamboo. And, I mean, you go from 0 to 100, like like nobody's business, and then I mean, I was like, "Okay, I'm gassed." I mean, I was jumping and clipping the clippers. It was crazy. And I was like, "I gotta go in. I'm going in." I just gotta go breathe. I just gotta go catch my breath and just chill. And so I did, and I still have to go slide the skirting back in. Anyways, fun stuff to do at night, when it's freezing. but it's okay. I'd rather do that than have 0 water. So, if something happens and it goes out, and it's something that I failed on, oh my god. I'll never stop kicking my own derriere. But anyways, damn paper. All right. Well, I'm just gonna jump into it, and it's good to see you guys. Hey, Nina. Hey, Angela. Yeah, thank you. And hey, Nightbot. What's up, Nina? Nina. Sorry. Ooh, high pitch in the right ear, yo. Chill out. Crap. That's a different one. They're like, "Oh, she's smiling." No, I'm kidding. Zap. Anyways, man down. All right, let me grab the video where we left off. Still can't see it. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and like play in this or whatever. And so while he's talking, I'm gonna go also on my phone and grab it, and so I can grab some damn names because we are here for the names, anyways. I am. I want to know because I make a connection with names. I don't know for some. I can't remember what I did 2 minutes ago, but I can when I hear a name. Holy crap! It sticks with me like crazy. Um, yeah, so let me push play, and I'm over here double thinking, and I keep pushing the wrong app. Do you ever get to your phone screen and you're like, "Oh my god, what did I come in here for?" Kind of like when you walk into a room. Anyways, yeah. The good times. And I still went into another separate app, especially Google, because you have Google Maps, Google, just Google. Then I have Google Photos, and I have Google Drive. Just all the Googles, and they don't really differentiate between their icon, email, and so I'm always like clicking the wrong one. Anyways, enough about me. All right, we're getting back into basically the sounds of a Freemason. I don't know if I can say that this early in the video. That's why I didn't put it on my thumbnail or my title. I didn't put anything in the description this time. Anyways, all right, let's go.
So he's just Deschantel.
Let me go backwards just to
McLean.
the beginning of this,
I'll
baby to
just show you how
baby.
many celebrities
I'm
are a
gonna
part
try
of
and be
this.
quiet this time too.
So yeah, board of directors: Jessica Alba. There's McLean DeJoria, Kelly Rowland.
Okay.
We got Amy Adams, Kardashian,
Kardashian.
Miranda
It's old.
Kerr,
Hey,
Kristen
Nubot.
Bell, Molly Sims.
I don't even
Oh,
know who.
Aisha Curry. Oh, that's Steph Curry's wife.
Probably.
So he's just Deschantel,
Zoe
Chrissy Teigen, Hillary
DeChantel, I
Duff,
think. Huh. Okay, Crush.
Danny Garcia, Olivia Munn, Olivia Wilde, Kate Hudson, a lot, Ellen Pompeo, a lot of people, Yeah, so there you go.
Yep, there you go. As soon as I find it.
All
There
right,
it
give me a
is.
sec. I'll be right back. Give me a sec.
Hurry up. It's my co-host. Just kidding. Right? I need to pull this Cresha Easton out of my damn nostril. Okay, hold on. I don't usually come here to do it. I hope I don't have to back out and come again. Let's see. Shouldn't have to. Usually you can just hide it. La la la. Let's see. Oh, I could have fast forwarded it, huh? Let me do that. Oh, I forget this is not Google. Let me do this.
21,000 miles to
Ooh.
break.
Okay. I finally made it to where he is. I guess I didn't do that enough, huh? Oh, a damn ad. Damn ads.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
All right, thank you. And
Bathroom
over to
break.
you, Anon.
Okay, so we also have John Paul
Ooh.
DeJoria owns a train.
Oh,
Okay, and
babe.
it's a private train, literally private train, and it can go anywhere on Amtrak's 21,000 mile network, and it just has the interior has a Cabal vibe to it. So let's take a look inside the
I'm just taking
train.
his word on the Cabal vibe. I mean, it's pretty
So yeah, we
hideous. I'll tell
got
you that.
very Cabal like furniture. Like it just looks creepy, doesn't it?
Ooh, I
Like
blew it
look
up
at
a little
that.
bit. Or he did.
This especially like this. So this is the pentagram right here. It's a circle, like it's in circles, but it's upside down pentagram with the sheep inside. And we have the mark of Cain right there, the cross,
That's not
Knights
good.
Templar cross with the Holy Spirit or a dove. Who they a dove is considered Ishtar, right? So grapes, like dude, this is so Cabal like,
Grapes? I see. So when I heard him
right?
say this the other day about grapes, I was like, and I heard Allie Carter talk about grapes and how she really can't stand them anymore. And anyways, I mean, for what it's, I'm just like, well, what's up with the grapes? But then I remember reading the Hamblin papers and it just kind of all clicked in the Hamblin case. And I mean, that's just something they do. It kind of like, I mean, it makes me think about John Bonet. It makes me think about uh now, I mean, ever since Julie Rowe, ever since I caught her, ran across that picture again that I showed you guys last night with her standing and posing in front of, like intentionally standing in front of a pizza place and then, looking at her little whatever the hell she does, symbolisms and stuff. I mean, and I remember Melanie Gibb talking about JJ cutting on a pizza box, and I'm like, I mean, I always just kind of put a pin in that, and I mean, now I'm like, wow, my family got MK'd, and it's weird, this is not just Chad and Lori's little cult. I wish it was, I wish it were because I think, I wouldn't be here doing this first off, because I would be, I guess, satisfied with my research level or with, the information that has come out about it. And so it's like, if you think about all these things, it's like, oh my God, it's all these other psychopaths, and it's freaky when you think about it. It really is. Our friend just got into a motorcycle. Well, he drives a motorcycle and he got into a motorcycle accident. So they're running tests, Jason said, and then his name's Jason too. And so he's gonna let me know. All right, I found the screenshot. I'm about to pull it up.
We
But
got
I'm gonna,
false gods up here. We got like the sun, it looks like.
I want
And
to
yeah,
learn
it
all this
just looks
stuff.
super weird. Super weird. I mean, wow.
That is just gross. I don't,
Definitely
and
weird.
I like decorating things and
So
stuff. Oh, look at his face.
just wanted to point that
I'm
out
surprised.
as well. This is a good point. Someone made this meme, but it's a good point, right? Tim Ballard was a agent under Bush and Obama. You know, like
Interesting, because I mean,
shoot,
we pretty much came to the
right under Bush and Obama. He worked it.
okay, DHS. Okay. I'm like, because I mean, I don't know about the CIA thing. I wonder because I mean, Fox 13 News has even interviewed, former CIA analyst. I don't know all the job titles, but I know that the one that Tim Ballard has been spewing ain't matching up, and so something's gone awry somewhere. I mean, so I'm like, did he? Oh my God. I don't know how to turn that shit off. I don't know if y'all could see it every time I hit it. But that, like, I don't know how one goes and finds out because you can't exactly just call up the the AIC, and just be like, beep, boop, boop, boop. Yes, I'd like to verify employment on Tim Ballard, please. You know, I used to do that all the time for work. But I mean, how does one find out? So either he did and there's a cover up and like a, uh, government made, Manchurian here, or Tim never did work for the CIA and lied about it. So, or fudged it or whatever. I mean, he seems to, actually was listening to I went back to grab screen recording of where Tim Ballard talks about opening up the heavens, because when you give, in the act of service, this is that when Tom Harrison came in, and I was like, holy crap, Tim Ballard actually says Tom Harrison's name. And, I shared it a long time ago on my channel. And Tim Ballard's talking about how he used Tom Harrison's research, because he was saying that Tom Harrison was a brain specialist, first off. So, I mean, can't we just rule that one out and just say that's a lie? That is false. Okay, so, and that Tom Harrison helps, quote unquote, heal the brains of the children in aftercare, which is non-existent, So, I mean, what exactly does Tom do? Why is he, just handing you over this research, telling you about how endorphins feel whenever you do acts of service? I mean, isn't that what being a Mormon is all about? And proselytizing? Okay. I mean, so what, and I call bullshit on it because I think whatever Tim Ballard is doing, Tim Ballard or is whatever Tim Ballard is fear mongering you about, just like Julie Rowe, just like Chad Daybell, just like Lori Damn Daybell, all of them, whatever they are doing and accusing other people of doing, that's what I meant to say. Whatever they're accusing others of doing or shaming other people about, or her, I mean, look at Jody Hildebrandt, shit. That's exactly what they're doing. So when they talk about the adrenaline gland and that kind of stuff and how it opens up the heavens, so to speak, I really do believe that, in my opinion, my stats say that they're the number one consumers. Okay. Just like they like to deflect all that pornography shit on us. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever bounces off of me, it lands back on you, and then you don't get to give it back, because that's your shit. You carry it. So I think that's why we see these tortured kids or John Bonet. I mean, just a little too far. I'm not saying that Lori and Chad didn't deliberately set out to harm Tylee and JJ. I mean, they're definitely not here. So it's like, okay, I think it was to turn the pain up. I think it was so that they could get their fix and have their orgies, whatever. It's nasty. And Melanie Gibb and David Dan Warwick were in on it. And they were orgying it up. I could see David in a damn robe, in my opinion, allegedly.
As a special agent under both of them.
Just
I mean, that's a good point.
Sorry for giving that to y'all.
Also, so this is very interesting.
Okay.
So one way the Clinton Foundation received funds to Haiti for the earthquake in 2010 was through this thing called Hope for Haiti Now, which was like a televised charity telethon. And the funds that came from that telethon went directly to the Clinton Bush Haiti Fund, United Nations, Oxfam America, Partners in Health, Red Cross, UNICEF, Haley Haiti Foundation, which is connected to Greg
that
Phillips.
Lady with the yellow.
So when Greg Phillips went to Haiti, he was actually partnered with the Yelly Haiti.
With Tom.
And the notable celebrities that were there were Mel Gibson, Russell Brand, Rose McGowan, Mark Wahlberg, Tom Hanks, The Rock. There's a ton of them.
That ain't good.
And you could see them all here making phone calls.
Yo, call up all the Diddy people.
Good old Mel Gibson.
Go call up all the Diddy people because here's the rest of them. Okay. All right. This will help fill in some blanks, I think. I mean, and I've been following the Diddy case and those channels, and I'm just like, I mean, I don't want no damn list because I know. I mean, I can figure it out, by putting 2 plus 2 together. Other than that, then it's like I feel like those people who are on those lists and they know who they are. They know exactly who the hell they are. Uh, Me seeing their name on a piece of paper or a computer printout is not going to seal the deal for me. Mine is like, oh, birds of a feather flock together. I'm not saying that association dubs you guilty. No, but I mean, oh, if you're over here in the Diddy land and then you're over here in Timmy land, I mean, come on now, 2 and 2. You're running with the wrong crowd, boo. You're either getting diddled or you're diddling. Okay. And I mean, that's just because it just seems to be par for the course with these people. Back up so I can show them the damn names.
And I know everyone's like Mel Gibson flipped and Mel Gibson that.
And they
But you have to
can,
remember
but
this was 2010.
I don't care.
Remember when he
He
made
he flipped back.
Passion of the Christ? 2003.
Okay, which I have pulled some research on that. Again, I found it in the um subscribe to Everand or you scribed, and you can go and I mean there's so many different PDFs that you can pull from for free or for a small fee of money. I mean, to me it's worth it. It's like having a bazillion books at your hand at your fingertips, and so it was interesting whenever I found a paper that somebody had wrote up, just like what somebody did with Julie, and that PDF that I still got to put out number 2 on that Julie wrote. If y'all like it, I mean it really is helping, like, kind of fill out some timelines for sure. And with Aval, with Julie, with Chad, with Tim, with these clowns, in my opinion, I feel like somebody was putting these people up, people like Julie, Jody, Ken, Tom. I don't want to do roll call all the time, but all those people with those NPOs, with all the clowns, the ones that have made the headlines. And I feel like those are just the front organizations. Those are, something more nefarious is going on just past them. But those things don't ever get, pulled out. I mean, look at Chad and Laura. How many of us thought that that Melanie Gibb was going? Where's the conspirators and the co-conspirators and the named and unnamed? And I'm tired of the unnamed. Now, I will jump on, that one. That's the only list I want to see. I want to see some damn handcuffs and I want to see some damn repercussions for these people. They already are inverted, in my opinion. And then they're lying their asses off. If not just, lying straight out, then they are definitely lying by omission and to cover their asses. And I mean, that's disgusting. It's because it's not just on my family's blood, but this is a lot of victims who we don't know their names. How about named and unnamed there? Because there's plenty of those. I mean, or people who have spoke up about this kind of stuff, this kind of abuse, and we don't listen because we're like, oh no, that's just too far out. Yeah, no. Can you come back with just some regular proof? I need proof. Can you? I need proof. I mean, look at Tim Ballard and his assistant, executive assistant, Celeste Voorhees. Thank God she got his sperm on her skirt. And then people still freak out, and I'm just like, oh my God. Like, it's not like you get some rolled red carpet rolled out for you and everybody's just whining and dining and you're just like all of a sudden a celebrity, which I mean, that never made sense to me at all. Whenever Diddy would, or his camp would allegedly say every time a new lawsuit was being filed, oh, they're just clout chasing. Huh? What, squeeze me? Because what? No, that's not how this works. I mean, not in the real world. I don't know about over there where you live in the billionaire land, I mean, because that's not how it works. That's not clout, boo. That's called you got busted. Just like, okay. And so let me know what you think about this. I know, I'm talking. But let me know what you think about, and a lot of you have seen probably the Cassie. Okay, Cassie, forget her name right off top. She is the one that sued Sean Diddy Combs, and he's settled it allegedly within 24 damn hours. I mean, he was just like, "Oh, here you go," allegedly. And then, there's a video that came out of her running into like a elevator, whatever it's called, bank. What I don't know what the hell. And so she's running. Diddy comes out in a white towel, which is disgusting. And BJ investigates. She always says he runs out like a damn puma. It makes me laugh every time she says that. Oh, hey, Detective's daughter. How are you? Hey, Miss Mojo. Hey, Melmac. Hey, y'all. Hey, Nightbot. Hey, Chris. What's up? When you have to prove SA with DNA before you're believed, it's BS. Yeah, exactly. It's like, maybe we should change our thinking, you know? And I mean, we are a society that demands proof, fact checking, and things. That's great. That's great. But there's just some things, emotional scars, uh, sexual scar, those things that please take my word. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to believe people. I believe people more than I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of feel them out if they're kind of, going off the path there or whatever, and they give you something to doubt. Then yeah, okay, we'll talk. We'll talk again. But not everybody reacts the same way either. But we give a lot of people who, let's say like Lori, and Uncle Charles was just murdered. And she's like, "Oh, hi neighbors, sorry, and she's just whatever. And she's doing yoga in her damn chair and she's getting a victim's advocate. And then we're like, well, everybody just grieves different. I mean, grieves or psychopaths different. I mean, I don't know. It looks a little freaking psycho. So it's really, but anyways, I mean, again, and Tim Ballard I've heard him say this to his buddies, the people that peddle his bullshit, that these women basically just colluded together and they just want to take him down. Why? Because he's saving kids or because he SA'd them allegedly and he's not saving a damn person. He's exploiting everybody all the way down to the either I hope, I doubt it, but I hope the illusion of kids that he's saving, or I mean, is he saving 15% or more by switching to Geico? I mean, what's he doing with all everybody's damn money? Laughing all the way to the bank, paying the church. I'm sure. There are fake excommunications. Speaking of conspiracies, Joseph Smith used to do them, but it just doesn't math up for me. Especially, and then you got to think how Tim Ballard's freaking stake president or whomever, bishop, somebody in his ward that had excommunicated him, held a freaking sponsored raise money. Why? So he can show up in his house again with a damn helicopter? I mean, why? Didn't he panhandle or something his neighborhood? Allegedly. This is just rumor. Where because his kids didn't have a pool. Cry me a river. You know what? My dad had a dump truck. And I was like, Dad, please, 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 can we please put a tarp in the back and make it a freaking, can we put some water in there? Okay. I was trailer hood, straight up trailer park. Okay. But I'm humble. Like I'm okay. Like I'm not gonna sit there and send my kids around begging, panhandling my neighborhood, trying to give them the poor mouth so that they'll get me a pool. Man, that's some nice neighbors. Okay. If that's what you worried about with your 9 mouths to feed, that's just disgusting to me. Like, sit down. But anyways, that whole proving thing, I don't know where I was going with that, but oh yeah, so I found that video and I caught Tim in a lie. Chris, I did. I caught Tim in a lie. Whenever it was at the Ogden surgical Society, Ogden Surgical Medical, something like that, Society, a dinner or whatever. And it's like he tried to do the same speech that he did, a time before, because he says it twice, but he doesn't say Tom Harrison's name the second time. He kind of learned. And so he says, but he does mention Tony Robbins. He shows that whole video again about the priesthood, of not the priesthood blessing, but the blessing or whatever the hell Tony Robbins did to Jack Black in that movie, right? And just the fake run of the mill, made it up as I go story that he purports to everybody. And it's like he reads everybody, like he's like, they're not really buying this, you can tell. I can. And so he said that in this talk, he said that Tony Robbins called him and just wanted to go on on an op. And I'm just like, that's some bullshit right there. I never noticed it before, but that's some bull crap, Tim. You lied, because we heard for ourselves with the audio that was released by one, Tim Ballard's ex executive assistant, Celeste Boris. You guys are welcome here. I've actually talked to some of them. And so, I feel like our stories meet in the sense that, there's a shared psychopath there, and I mean, I think they hold a lot of answers, these women, that were abused and used. And there's some odd 30 something more. I'm surprised it wasn't 33. I mean, just for shits and giggles, just why not? Why not? But so, yeah, he's like, Tony called me up. Yeah, and so again, in that audio that I shared yesterday or last night with you guys, and how freaking Ken Kroeg spins it as if I had a dream. I had a dream, and oh my God, here, I'll play it a damn again. We will get to know this video. Okay. I know, but it corroborates these women. It corroborates Lynn Packer. It corroborates even these fools, okay? And look all the people. You got Governor Herbert, Eric Paulson, Utah. You have I can't read his shit. Brett Baer, I think, or something. Tony Robbins, and the question mark is for Elizabeth Smart. The Blaze, Tommy Lauren, Breck Sexton, Porn Kills Love. That's Fight the New Drug. Clay Olson. And I mean, I've got a whole proselytizing thing that he did that I can corroborate also with that. Glenn Beck, we've got Lindsay, and this is where Tim started. I mean, this is where Ken was like, okay, who do you know? These are the know. These are the want to knows. Okay. And then this is still, for sure, like these people are they're eating birdseed out of your little hand because birds of a feather flock together. Okay. So, okay. And then we have, Lexi Walker, Lindsay Sterling, Brooke White, Elizabeth Smart, question mark. They kind of chuckled about that. It's pretty gross. Terry Crews, Kelly Preston, John Travolta is what it says. Jonathan Travolta, though. Jenna Elfman, Cascade, Montel Williams. Okay. Alex Boyer. He's been in some Preparing a People programs. Adam LaRoche or LaRoche, I don't know how to say that. Luke Bryant, Elder Ballard. Oh, Slim family. I didn't know who the hell Slim was, right? Eduardo Veresigi, and I can't see. I don't know. And then over here, I mean, this is O'Reilly, Oprah, Ellen, Anderson Cooper. Y'all, I stayed on the same damn island with that dude. He's a hobbit. I'm 5'3", so there you go. But I worked in Grand Isle during the oil spill. That was fun. Anyway, so talk shows, foundations, like the Clinton Foundation. They were talking about how they can improve the Clinton Foundation's image that looked pretty shitty about that time. This is 2016, September 6, 2016. this is a precursor to the 2017 whiteboard meeting that not many know about, but it's alleged that like Sean Reyes was there, all the apostles were there from the church, so that's a biggie. And then, I mean, if it's true, if Glenn Packer is telling the truth, I mean, he tracks out. He scores high on, credibility, in my opinion. Um, and it says, and then the 2019, which I always called the whiteboard prophecy, because there's this whole white horse prophecy in the LDS church. And so whiteboard, white horse, it's prophecy because it's all about proselytize and monetize, and to get people to convert into what I believe is going to be a one world religion. I'm sorry, this is their shit. I am just translating their shit over to you because they're going to sit there and call it a second coming. Lori calls it a second coming. I'm sitting here saying, oh crap. Oh my God. While I was researching, I just so happened to kind of like, whoa. So, I mean, I'm probably late because I'm always late. So, I mean, I don't think I'm alone in that. These accelerationalists, these hey, we got the scoop. These prophet seers and revelators. Yeah, they see because they're in secret societies, and that's the plan. That's the no plan, that we're not part of. So, because in this phone call, you will hear right around right here, where Elder Ballard tells Ken Krogh and Tim Ballard, allegedly, and they're going to say it here, if you don't start this basically nonprofit, I'm paraphrasing, in 10 years, we'll all be slaves. And I'll be damned if he didn't start some nonprofits, yo. I'm sure it's been said with the help of his prophet, not grandfather. And so, then they write a book called Slave Stealers. I mean, that's clever, right? Slave Stealers. Ha, ha, ha. I mean, I'm just saying they're not freaking smart. They're just sneaky and gross. Anyways, let me push play.
So Ken's background is he built a multi-billion-dollar company
on this stuff,
inside sales, like huge office, and so that's why. And I met him through Elder Ballard because Elder Ballard and the churches used him
Not
to
hate.
use the same kind of
Not
tools
hate.
and technologies for the missionary program and everything like that. And Elder Ballard actually looked him in the eye, and Elder Ballard can't even affirm this right now. But he said Tim will be 10 years ago. He said Tim will be a household name.
Yes.
And I was just like, what are you saying? Like no one knew who I was at the time.
And he said, if we don't do it in 10 years, we'll all be slaves.
That's right.
Oh God.
He said he took to Ken and he said, Ken, you need to guide that process to when it happens.
You know what happened the next 2 nights? I had dreams all night long about what to do. And I even saw Tony Robbins. And we went up there to that whiteboard.
Crazy.
What a revelation.
We made a 2-story high whiteboard and we circled
True
all the
stories.
best places. And we circled the biggest name of all would be Tony Robbins.
This is before we knew him or he knew us.
We didn't even know.
And
the Lord had our back. I didn't do anything about that other than highlight what he showed.
Well, I remember Elder Ballard. I said, well,
It's not hate, boo.
Tony,
I'll talk in a minute.
Yes.
Okay, well, how do we get to him?
Yes.
And Elder Ballard said, don't let the Lord take care of that.
And he did.
Within 6 months, Tony Robbins calls me. Bizarre.
And already firmly committed.
Oh well, he
That's
did
where
call
we're
him.
going.
Maybe he didn't lie.
Young Adult Project, all that stuff. But I'll hit on that later. But what we do is we mimic the traditional model, and the traditional model is you've got PR, which rolls to market.
And I mean, I get it. Digital marketing. I get it. That's his specialty. That's his forte. I get it. But it seems to be all business, no receipts. Very odd, not so great, not Christian behavior. So, I mean, if you want to claim these people in your church, you go right on ahead. I just don't want to see you or maybe your nephew or your step cousin or your uncle. I don't want to see your family get murdered over these assholes. That's the church I belong to. It's not hate. It's conviction. It is experience with losing people that I love, being judging kids for being dark. How do you explain that? And I'm not blaming your religion. I'm blaming these people. Okay. But I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense to me. I believe in God. I don't belong to a church. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate these knuckleheads. Okay. I don't. I'm just like, some, okay. I actually thought about this earlier because it's relevant in my opinion, you know? Whenever, okay, you know how Scott Reich, I mean, I've watched him because, I watched I watch anybody and everybody who covers my family's case. I want to learn everything I can, different perspectives, you know, I like to see the bigger picture. And so, um, okay, who was I talking about? Scott Reich would always say, that whenever you have children, where are the perpetrators? And I mean, they're wherever your kids are. Okay. They're in your daycares. They are in all churches. Okay. They are your neighbors. They're people that you trust even. I mean, they are people. That's what perpetrators do. They prey and on the vulnerable, and especially when they're attracted to all that shit, that's disgusting. But it's real. It's reality, and anyways, veering off. But Scott said that, they're going to be wherever our kids are. Okay. And so where are Satanists going to be? I mean, this is a very relevant point because they're going to be amongst everybody else who actually believes in God, purporting the same thing that you're purporting, blending in. They mock you, like they study us. They study people like us because they don't know what empathy is. They don't know what it is. Tim Ballard cries on demand. It's COD, straight up. I'm like, whoa. It's really interesting to watch. And it's also crazy. It's absolutely freaking batshit crazy. Again, look, I just had a flashback to Julie Rowe saying, I'm the alpha. Rah. And I'm thinking, what the hell did Tylee and JJ see? What were their last moments like? Because there's these people who are purporting Jesus, but they're not. They're even exploiting him. They're exploiting your God, my God. They're exploiting our children, our kindness. They're exploiting our pocketbooks. They're exploiting my brain span, basically. Okay. They take up a whole lot of time in my life trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And that it's not just two people that just went cuckoo, or it's not just because Lori met Chad. It's not that just damn Chad Daybell. People don't just get wicked. I don't believe. I believe that everybody's born with this light, that they talk about all the time. You know what I'm saying? But people are born with this innocence, and then that is stolen through this other way of these people. Like, I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna piss you off, some more. I know I do that constantly. I love you. I do. But trust me. Trust me. I wouldn't lead you astray. And you don't have to. Do your own research. Do your own research. I used to look at not only your church, your leaders, I used to look at them. I'm about to start crying. I used to, when I was trying to figure all this out in the very beginning, and I didn't know, I knew nothing. And I'm not much further than that now, 5 years later, but I know a lot more than I did then. My gut feeling was telling me this goes up, this goes higher, this goes higher. And I had no way. Of translating that because I didn't have the words. I didn't have the vernacular. I don't talk this, this is not, I don't know if it's a north-south thing because I'm over here in Southwest Louisiana. And I mean, and I'm like, well, scriptures are scriptures, I mean, and I found out that is not true. But I never adhered to those things. I just knew that God I just know that there's source. There's somebody, a being more than me, because I feel him. I feel that love. I feel it. I can't just extinguish it. I can't just put that to the side. And I just don't. And I mean, I'm not judging. I'm not judging. It's just not the way I was raised. I was raised to go. I did have to go to catechism. It was horrible. It was the same old, same old. It's not like the LDS church at all. It's pretty freaking lame. Okay. So that's just not the culture I live in. And that's fine. That's fine. I didn't even know Lori was LDS. I didn't know any of this. I didn't know JJ was. I mean, that's how I didn't know my uncle was. These things just weren't front and center. But respect, loving, caring, even maybe saying some things that hurt sometimes, not doing it on purpose. I'm telling you this because I do love you. If not, I mean, I could just go look at my notes every night, and write some more notes. And I mean, I'm not just here to spew. I'm here because I love the people in here. I've become friends with these people. These people are my family, and we've grown through this together. And that is where my dead family, that's where their spirit lives on. And it serves as a tell, okay? And it ensures that their deaths are not in vain. That is one thing I have to make sure of, that their deaths are not in vain, even though Tylee and JJ were children. You know what I mean? I don't want their deaths to be in vain. There were so many other ways that they were dehumanized, brutalized, and God knows. God only knows. And that's between those people and their God. But when these people are amongst other good people in a free society, Melanie Gibb she's been around children ever since. That is concerning to me. She wasn't just duped. And I mean, she's tricky. She's a tricky one. Woo. And that's even scarier because these people just blend in. David Hamblin, Roselle Hamblin, Anderson, Hamblin, Stevenson. These are Satanists that have been lurking their way, making headlines here and there since the damn 80s, since Bishop Glenn Pace, since SRA and satanic ritual abuse. Holy crap. The satanic panic label came out from the CIA. They were like, oh shit. Actually, it came out a little before then. They're like, oh, conspiracy theory. Yeah, that's another one that they like to do. My mouth, I'm drinking a hot cocoa, but it ain't working. Anyways, this is why we do this. This is not a popular topic, if you can tell. All the people that need to be here are here because they know there's more than this. They know there's more to it. They're diggers. They don't just settle on, and honestly, just to be brutally honest, I had higher expectations of what I thought. I've never been through this before, right? Well, now I have, but when this started out, I did not know what this was. I'm like, hell yeah, we're going to trial, and I didn't want them to plead guilty because I wanted to know everything that I possibly could. I didn't know any about all the legal stuff. No, still really don't. I know the process more because we're only on round 3 now, basically. Come on. We have one more to go after this one. And this is something I never wanted to be a professional in, but I found myself here with you good people. And I'm honored. I'm honored. It humbles me. And it makes me want to continue. It gives me a reason to continue. This is my community. This is my LDS community, so to speak. I see all the people here. I see them in other channels looking, asking questions, and then we just come together and then we share. And that's the beautiful part about this, you know. But I mean, how often does this happen though? I mean, I just really want to know. I know just what I've kept up with, you know, like, because I mean, I really think sometimes, you know, this is just my conspiracy. But I think sometimes that Ervil LeBaron, you know, the LeBarons, how they moved to Mexico because they wanted to practice polygamy still, and just all the you know, they called him Mormon Manson. And it struck me so odd because while Tylee and JJ were missing, my uncle was already murdered. Couldn't even like think about that. You know, no, it was crazy. I wasn't thinking straight at all. I was just like, what? I don't remember a year of my life basically because it's a blur. Because it was crazy. I've crammed so much information, reading comments, posts. I have crammed a lot of Mormon material, okay? And I don't do it justice. I don't. And I mean, it's not on purpose. It's not me I just try to snap through it or jam through it as fast as I can because not now I'm trying to make sense of it, but you know, like along the way, I'm trying to just dispel things, you know. I'm like, whoa, okay, is this belong here? I'm not trying to force anything, but does this belong here? Why is this person connected over here? And you know, you just start kind of filling it out. I mean, it took me forever to learn the hierarchy of the church. I was like, what? President? Oh, you know, it's a totally different concept to somebody like me who has never the only thing I knew, and I've said this so many times, it's not even funny anymore, but it's the truth. When I was a kid, you know, I'd watch cartoons on Saturdays, and there was a commercial that would come on. It was long, and it was a beautiful commercial. I mean, I remember it. Okay, first off, and it was like compassion, pass it along. I'll never forget that for all of my days. And then bam, you know, Lori, you know, sister Lori, um, I think that she was raised this way. I think that she may come from an inverted home. And I know that the religion has caught a lot of the brunt from me in that sense. But there's still it'll always baffle me. Like I try to understand it. Why, you know, this is right after in 2018 whenever I think there were 9 women and children that were murdered at the border, and they were LeBaron, you know, kinfolk. And, you know, I remember, I mean, this is literally, I think Ervil LeBaron was the first cult leader or whatever that I actually kind of researched over. And I mean, it was out of Oxygen. It was an Oxygen article straight up. So, I mean, that was just my first little dip because I mean, literally when my uncle was still alive and he was telling my mom and Larry about some kind of cult about Lori before he was murdered. And so me and Larry just kind of broke away from the conversation, and then we went into the living room and I was like, "What?" And literally I lived in my own bubble, okay? And it got popped whenever my uncle, you know, was murdered. It shook me to my core. And this was my eyes open, you know, and I can't, like, you can't look away. I can't. I've wanted to look away. I'm just like, okay, yeah, no, because it's uncomfortable and nobody wants to talk. I don't want to talk about this, but I think it's necessary. There's a lot of people that don't talk about these things, and then nothing ever gets done about them. Nothing. Everybody's so busy saying, no, everything's great over here. We're good. Ruby Frankie, everything's great. Great. Nothing to see here. Shanna Gardner, nothing, literally had a shirt on, said nothing to see here. Or no, everything's great, whatever the hell. I don't know. My memory sucks. But I mean, it baffled me as to why the church had, and I mean, I was just learning all this kind of stuff, Oh, back to the Larry, I was like, okay, a cult? And he was like, yeah. And I was just like, oh, I mean, for real, straight up, I'm willing. I mean, I'm like, I was a dumbass. Okay. I was ignorant, but it was not to hurt anybody. I mean, I'm sure, and I'm going to always say ignorant things because I don't know everything. I don't pretend to. Yeah, they were scissors and Angel, in my opinion. But anyways, but like, so I looked at Larry and I was like Charles Manson? And he was like, yeah. And then I was like, straight up, I was like, he didn't kill anybody. I mean, I would, if you looks, man, it's called Reading the Room. And I read it and I was like, oh, the way Larry was like, what? And I was like, Charles Manson, he didn't kill anybody, I didn't say it twice, but I was like, ooh, okay, I might want to look into that, And I mean, it's a lot, it's hard to understand all these things at the same time. I mean, maybe there's people that can do it while processing, while grieving, while, I have my own family and it's hurting them. And I'm watching my parents age in front of me on TV, my brother, it's just so many things about this and just processing it. This is heavy stuff. It is heavy. But I mean, that's why there's a community here. And it's not the only community. That's why there are other channels just like this. Hopefully, you know what I mean, who share the truth, who share at least what they find, whether it has some ignorance and human error in there. Yep, it's gonna. But I mean, it's our concerted effort. We're not AI machines. Thank God, right? Crap, sorry. That was deep. But I mean, it baffled me as to why. And so then I remember Tylee and JJ being found unearthed. I remember the whole community, Rexburg, Madison County, everybody around where Chad and Tammy were raising their family and everything, had raised their family, the second leg of it. Those people are good people, in my opinion. Those people never let me down. They never let my parents down. They went over, above, and beyond. They're beautiful people. Even though, there came a point when I was like, okay, oh my God, I got to say some uncomfortable things, like it, and I fought with myself forever about this. I was just like, well, what do I do? Do I just sit here and just pretend, while I'm researching all these things, if it was a Catholic church and I'd be up their booty too. And it's really all comes back down to the people, the murderers, the offenders. It goes back down to them. But there are things that factor into, especially in this culture, there are things, major things, Tom Harrison things. These are, and I mean, there are a number of things that go into this, not just their writings, not just their teachings, not just the things that they're grifting, in my opinion. These are things that are being used to manipulate. And, I'm learning about this in my own world right now, like I'm just like, oh crap, I'm in a cult. It's crazy. So don't laugh at nobody. That's my advice. Don't laugh, because I'm like, oh, okay. It's like I just never woke up to the world I live in. And I'm glad that I did. It sucks that it took murder, but it really hurt my heart and confused me a great deal whenever the church didn't offer. I mean, I'm just like, a church. I'm just thinking church. You think of people who worship God, worship Christ, right? The Chad, Lori, they claim to worship Christ. Jason Mao, he was standing behind Christ while he was like, doing whatever nefarious thing he does. Okay, these people hide behind Christ, and that to me is that is some big kajongas, and we're little old me is, I'm just like, holy crap, these people are crazy. These people are dangerous. Like anybody that's gonna sit there and be like, peeking around Christ's shoulder and just being like, nah, 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 and just being little Satan worshipers. That's dangerous people, in my opinion, because holy crap, that's some heavy stuff they're peddling. But they do it and they dupe so many people. They dupe so many people. And I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. I mean, we can sit here and arm wrestle over who led who. And really it doesn't matter because they both, did what they did. No, like where one left off, the other one didn't pick up and say, hey, no, 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 nobody. Lori is still going hard and heavy. She, I mean, nowhere do I think my Uncle Charles deserved this. Nowhere. I definitely don't believe that Tammy deserved this. I don't believe that I for sure do not believe that those babies deserve this. None of us deserve it either. Y'all don't even damn deserve it. This is heavy. I don't sit well with, and I mean, this isn't a popular opinion. Like a lot of people don't share the same sentiments. I also lost my aunt. She was this person that was nice, friendly, engaging, funny, high-spirited. She was she whenever you talk, like whenever I talked to her, whenever she talked to me, she was engaged. Like there was nobody else on this planet. She was listening, or she was really good at it. All I'm saying, I wasn't really looking for all that. Again, I thought Charles Manson. Yeah. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? Don't even take my opinion on things because I sure as hell didn't know what the hell I was looking for. Or I wasn't looking for any of that, And I mean, that's just kind of how this works. When you're at church, when you're at work, wherever you're at in a comfortable, where you're complacent and you're not expecting people to be grifting you, or, the right hand has to watch what the left hand's doing, basically. And so let's not, that's a good lesson for all of us. None of us become complacent. I'm trying to teach, I've been talking to my bonus son. He's 15. And I'm like, I just want you to be self-aware. Because I mean, he will just walk in and he's just like, dur, 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 and I'm just like, wow. Or he'll ask for something. And then I'm like, dude, just open your eyes. And I remember being young like that. Hey, everybody that just came in. Hey guys, I'm sorry. I got thrown off. Not thrown off in a bad way, I guess. We have a channel visitor that comes around every trial time. And I mean, I love him or her. But, kind of got veered off to that, but ended up being real life, real life. So anyways, y'all want to learn some more truth? It sucks. Narcissistic attention. She did wear a mask. She doesn't wear that mask anymore. Freaky, and I'm constantly finding things that I'm like, this is where they got it. This is where they got it. But this is what concerns me is where we were back in 2019 compared to where we are now with all the cases, not just Lori and Chad that have happened, but all the cases since then, all the things that have come to light just since then, has been a collectively an eye-opening experience for me, for sure. Let me know what y'all think, but I don't think we're off in this. I really don't. I feel compelled to dig. I have felt compelled to dig. I trust my gut. I'm not going to listen to all the powers that be and them telling me not to trust my gut. God gave me all of my senses, allegedly, you know what I mean, to the best of my ability. And I use those. Now, all the other things, they're just training wheels, I think, a backup mirror. I mean, okay. Do I have to? No, I can do this. I mean, I'm just saying. Um, but I still trust my intuition. I trust my ears, my sight, my sound, all the things, all the things. The motherly intuition, or just something's not right, or maybe this possibly goes all the way up, except it blew my freaking mind because I was not expecting it to blow out of the LDS ceiling and go higher. I was like, oh, crap. Okay, can we just walk this back a little bit? Like I was just getting comfortable with it just being to the top of the LDS hierarchy. I was getting a little, you know what I mean? Like you could swallow that a little more, but then you're like, oh, okay. The world's richest dude who hangs out with the other richest dudes, and you're just like, oh, okay, cartels. Oh, this is where I'm going to opt out. Okay. There's nowhere else to go from here. There's no higher. So that's where we're at. And it's crazy that all these people and all these things are connected. It's not a coincidence. We're way past that. Like this. Don't donate. Like I did. You find out some pretty dark things, Just we have to trust one another. We have to look out for one another, especially the kids. Y'all, the kids. They didn't deserve this. They don't deserve this. I don't have JJ. JJ was my only nephew, and I don't have any other. And he was adopted. So it was like, I wanted to be an aunt, and he never would say Aunt Crusha. He would just say, hey, Crusha. Colby, he does kind of sound like Colby sometimes. I'm like, oh my God. Like if I pop up in his chat and he's like, hey, Crusha. And I'm like, oh, he does sound like Colby. Sometimes it kind of, takes me aback a little bit. But anyways, all right, let's get back on some of this. Okay. we are, the heat is on, right? All right. So y'all ready to nerd out with me? Nerd out to the elites. Okay. All right. So again, look, you got Robert De Niro. Loved all these people. I loved, what's his face? Jack Nicholson. Oh my God. That dude was funny. Mel Gibson, Passion of the Christ. That's what I stopped to tell y'all was about that PDF that I had found where somebody with biblical sense, not me, scriptural, all that stuff, right? Just anyways, but they went and like pointed out all the ways, where it blasphemes Jesus, the gospel and things like that. And I mean, I do plan on sharing it, just not tonight because, I just ran over with my soapbox. But anyways, we will. There's, I have more time than money. So look, you have Leonardo DiCaprio, who, I mean, people following the Diddy case, they are like, what about Leonardo? And I'm just like, oh wow. So I mean, he's hanging out over here. He's hanging out everywhere, turns out. Anyway, so this is Baby to Baby. It's one way the Clinton Foundation received funds to Haiti after the earthquake in 2010. And it was through Hope for Haiti Now. And it says funds were distributed to the following organizations with humanitarian operations in Haiti, which, I mean, that's a destination that Tim Ballard loves, or whether he loves it or not, it seems to be one of his offices. The other one's Ukraine. And there's a couple more. But not to mention, this is where it pulls in people like Jason Mao and Christina Atwood. She was one of the 7 gatherers. She did castings. She got kind of froze out with Chad and Lori because she was asking too many questions, allegedly. But I still find it interesting, that like her sister, Christina Atwood's sister, was in the same ward with Chad. And her brother-in-law, Christina's brother-in-law, was, in the same, like if Chad was serving a mission. I mean, not a mission. My bad. Chad was serving a calling, and he didn't get disfellowshipped until after the murders, after all the carnage, okay? And then, you hear Heather Daybell testify, and she's saying that, Chad Daybell's vehicle was always there at the meeting house, off hours when other people weren't there and stuff like that. And so then all these rumors start flying back into my mind, from early on in the case where, there's uncorroborated. So this is just hearsay. I don't know how to corroborate this unless they come out and tell me. But the rumor was that Chad and Ian Pawlowski had sacrificed some cats or something and I mean, again, whatever. It doesn't make me any difference because, so was JJ, so was Tylee. Okay. I mean, anyways, it's just, it begs the question, again, I think these people lie. I think they're really good at it. I think they believe their own lies. They're kind of raised up inverted, so to speak, and it shows for sure. So whether that is true or not, I don't know. That's between them and, again, their master. But that's just what I'd heard. So take it with a grain of salt. All right, let me push play.
So you could see Mel Gibson's kind of been like this guy that's trying to infiltrate like the Christian world as one of these celebrities, Cabal members.
A padre.
That's my opinion. There's many more that were there. Let's see here. Alicia Keys, Halle Berry,
Sure.
Anderson Cooper, Leonardo DiCaprio, Stevie Wonder.
Oh my God.
Samuel L. Jackson, Taylor Swift, Aguilera, Julia Roberts, Robert Pattinson, like all the A-listers, Beyonce, Matt Damon, Madonna, Ben Stiller, Justin Timberlake, Brad Pitt, Jay-Z, Rihanna, Bono, Dave Matthews.
It's a worldview crasher.
Then we have
I finally
all
got
the
to the
phone
names.
operators. Those were all the guys that did like music performances. Yeah,
Now,
I mean, there's a ton.
I'm sorry.
Absolute ton. And I try to find the ones that really stuck out. Robert Downey Jr., Snoop Dogg, Ellen DeGeneres, like all the A-listers were there. Yeah.
Okay, finally. I just got to that screen.
Interesting stuff. Here is some information I found. So George Soros is partners with Carlos Slim and Bill Gates. So they're all part of the same crew, same crowd. And this is recent news. So I've had people come to me like, well, what if Carlos Slim's flipped?
What if?
Look at this. This happened in 2022, literally like earlier.
I remember this article, but not from him. That's crazy.
They're buying farmland. Carlos Slim is part of this farmland initiative thing.
Sorry. I'm never on that screen.
China's buying it. We got Saudi Arabia.
I was actually watching, and because Preparing a People, right? Latter-day Media, Mike and Nancy James. And so they still have Latter-day Media. They still talk about Visions of Glory. They still hold these, not Bible or gospel, nothing to do with the Book of Mormon or the Bible or nothing to do with that. Okay. These are all Visions of Glory. And they did like 8 parts. Okay. Where they broke it down. And so I wanted to see it and learn how they are viewing this book. And so it's not the book, it's the person behind the book. It's Tom Harrison, and how he would meet with Julie Rowe, Chad Daybell at his office, Salt Lake City, prior to the murders. Okay. He is a freaking psychiatrist. Well, I'm sorry. He dealt with a lot. I think he just retired, but he was a well-renowned, basically, sex abuse, like child sex abuse therapist. Okay. Was sought out. He tried to actually normalize, or not normalize, but he was a point man for the brethren. Okay. The hierarchy. So, I mean, there's that, you don't just say, hey, These people don't just let anybody in their orbit, allegedly. And I mean, so this is the story. This is Tom Harrison. He's like, hey, he's probably has patients back in the 80s during the so-called satanic panic, all the things, right? Where there's a lot of blame going on about implanted memories and yada, 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 which that is a hoax. It's crazy. I know. Same world I live in. And to find out that the False Memory Syndrome Foundation was propaganda. It was it was like started by two parents who were being accused of abusing their daughter. So they're like, okay. And so they create the False Memory Syndrome Foundation, who testified, I don't know how many cases. Okay. Very well could have been somebody, an expert witness that could have testified, or still could. These people, who have testified in these high profile cases, not just, but where they're warranted, and they dispute that false memories are a thing. They say that no, false memories are a thing. They can be implanted, and that is false. It is false, false. Okay. So that is a great bit of damage that has done. I mean, I was just like, oh, not that it was ever relevant to me in my life, hands on, firsthand, but I mean, it affects my society. It affects the world we live in because it's propaganda. It's just like Tim Ballard and Carlos Slim funding this movie, The Sound of Freedom, or the Rothschilds funding it because, whoa, why? Why? And I mean, with all the money that Tim Ballard raised and all the crowdfunding and yada, why would he even need to be floated by Paul Hutchinson, Carlos Slim, and yeah, Glenn Beck, Elder Ballard? Why Tony Robbins? I mean, Russell Brunson, even. I mean, I'm sure there's many, many, many more. So I mean, why do you need? How much is this damn movie? Damn. Maybe don't make those. Maybe actually go and save the damn kids. Or don't. Just stay home. And I'm sure they're safer, in my opinion. That's just I'm cynical, okay? I've been studying these people for 6 damn years. 5 for sure. These ones. But yeah, I remember hearing about this actual story from following Preparing a People. And her name is Helena. And she's, she does these good presentations, okay? For Mike and Nancy James, who film them and have them right here on YouTube. So they would never talk to me, I mean, I never was like confrontational to them. I'm just like, hey, I'm a family member on this side of it, I'm not Mormon. That throws me out right there. I mean, I have been pushed out, ignored, not acknowledged. So the fact that M comes in here and just freaking acknowledges me, it makes my day. I'm not playing. And I mean, I understand it's the culture, but then what about when you leave the church? It's still kind of like that too. It's very lonely over here. And I mean, I just want to talk Mormon to people and see if I have it, a good, I know I have a lot of slang and slur and, ebonics and stuff. And, I don't talk like a Mormon. And I think that's because God made me unique, and he made you unique. You're the only you there's ever going to be. So we're not made to be cookie cutter. I appreciate, everybody's insight. All is welcome.
Arabia's prince is buying it. Carlos Slim's one of them.
Oh man, why?
Yeah.
The
So there you go. Soros together with
is
3
buying a
other
lot of property.
billionaires, Carlos Slim, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, have teamed up in a farmland buying venture called the Grain Belt Express. $2 billion to purchase vast acres of farmland.
That's crazy to me. Prepping's one thing. You don't need money for Jesus. So what are they saving it up for?
So there you go.
What fire?
So yeah, I'm getting to the end
Insurance.
of this. We're getting close to the end because this stuff I found out yesterday. July 13th.
Oh.
So I looked into Carlos Slim's what
Mhm.
actual religion that he practices in Mexico is. And he's part of the Maronite Catholic Church, which is a specific division of the Catholic Church that focuses on it's Arabs, like people that are from
Arabia?
the country just
Claudia?
north of Israel. I forget what it's called. I forget exactly where it's called, but this is the logo for the church. They got the Templar cross, the Maronite cross. They got the 5 stars here. So like
I need to learn more about this.
there's something going on there. There's something going on with this church.
Yeah. I love you.
The papal cross, that's considered the papal cross as well.
Oh, sorry.
It's also known as the Salem cross and the Maronite cross. They're all the same. And the Maronites assisted the Crusaders and affirmed their affiliation with the Holy See of Rome in 1182.
I know nothing about this
So
part.
they're all part of the secret group as well. This is just like a dig into the crosses. So for those of you that think these crosses have like Christian roots, no. These are Cabal crosses. It all started with, it came earlier, like Mark of Cain is a cross, but the Secret Society have been using that to communicate with each other. And you can see here, we got Aleister Crowley with the Jerusalem cross. This is actually the necklace that Jim Caviezel was wearing. That I dug into.
Yeah.
He was wearing this necklace with this logo
that.
on it. It's like
Tim
the
started
Jerusalem
wearing a
cross, the
cross.
Salem cross. It's the same logo. And Aleister Crowley said that represents Baphomet. You can see here Albert Pike wearing it back in the late 1800s. Dude, this guy is one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. Like, it looks like
he looks
the
like a
Penguin
troll
from Batman.
Oh, he does. Oh my god.
You can see High
God
Orders,
forgive me.
33-degree Freemason. He was also a Knights Templar wearing it. I'm not sure who this guy is.
I keep covering it.
You can see this logo is very important to them. The Roman Catholic Church used to, hold the. This was the papal cross they used to hold.
Y'all
It's
remember?
now.
My grandfather, Charles's dad, Charles Vallow's dad, my mom's dad, my mom is Kay, Vallow Woodcock. He shook hands with this dude right here. And so I'm like, gross. I'm just like, oh, just as I was finding out about the LDS church and its leaders, how I thought that I could, I was always taught kind of like what my uncle showed, what he exhibited, where he went to his bishop, he went to people in those kind of places that can help you. He went to the police, he went to get a community bridges health assessment of Lori because she was talking secret society code to him. He didn't know that, I don't think. And I mean, it was freaking him out. And I do believe he trusted, that his gut was not wrong. He didn't survive that. Of course, that's why we're here. But it's just, it all comes full circle because my grandfather went and studied in Rome. He was hardcore Catholic, just as Lorius was, I thought, hardcore Mormon. It's just like, oh, and it's like, I have good memories of my grandfather, but it just goes to show like the level of indoctrination is real. It's real, and it's harmful whenever it is to the extremes. And whenever you turn away your own children or your own family members or your best friend or anybody, when you turn anybody away, when you turn your nose up because you are better than anyone else, because maybe that's what you were told your whole life. Okay. Oh my God. So, that's righteous much, it's like, hello, Sooty Tooty. And again, I found some stuff with Avraham Giuliani that wasn't on his website whenever I first was digging into him. Plus, I really didn't understand it like I do today. And I probably will understand it more in 5 years, But to this level, I was like, holy crap, because I was looking into why Lori was talking about the bottom rung, ever since we dug into this. first video yesterday, the first part of this video yesterday, last night, I mean, and Lori, they were talking about the different rungs or the different steps in the ladder of the Freemason. Yeah, I still don't get it. Okay, I'm learning right here with you. I do not know it all. Don't come here for that. We do this together. But and not only that, but there was a bizarre coded jail call between, I know there's more than one, but between Lori and Chad, and right the day before they unearthed Tylee and JJ. Okay. And they were talking weird. She first started out, they were talking in Visions of Glory. Again, I'm going to refer you to a channel called Wordwise. Her name is Kat. This is what she does for a living, like this is her profession, where she has dissected beautifully, in my opinion, Chad Daybell's books. She has read Melanie Gibbs' book, broke it down each step of the way. And now she is working on Visions of Glory, and holy cow, it is worth a subscription, a like, and join her Patreon. Okay. It's worth it. I'm all about supporting people who, I mean, to me, it's like a forensic psychiatric. I don't know. It's like Dr. John, but in the book world. Okay. And like, I don't know. It's like you can understand their writings, especially not being from the LDS religion at all, or not even that. Yeah, I'm from Southwest Louisiana over here. Okay. Just, again, I was living in my own bubble. So I'm just like, what? So not only are their books, in my opinion, nonsensical, and there's no artistic value there. It's like a freaking teenager or something, like Loinfire, but anyways, just to me, it's worth it, in my opinion. Wordwise is her channel, and I need to go looking for the second one on that Visions of Glory, because it says a whole hell of a lot. All right.
Is just this one line. They got rid of the other two because people were getting suspicious. But this is what it used to look like under this guy, this Pope.
That's what I found.
And there it is,
right there.
The Maronite Church's logo. So yeah, it's only worn by the high degrees of Knights Templar Masons occultists. So I wanted people to know that. So then yesterday I did a dig into the Harmon brothers, who were the founders of Angel Studios, who were the creators of The Chosen and the Sound of Freedom.
Yeah.
And they started out as an advertising company called the Harmon Brothers. And I just wanted to point out, here's one of their ads right here.
Oh,
so yeah,
this is crazy.
First,
nasty.
I posted their website. Let me get their website real quick. So yeah, let's go to the actual Harmon Brothers website, where they have, this is all their ads here. So I wanted to describe this to you guys. So this is the founder, like the very Christian, you think Christian people, right? And these are the companies that represent them. So Squatty Potty, which has to do with
that's Russell Brunson.
Number 2. Also, girl, like it's all like they are represented by 2 companies that have to do with taking dumps, and another company that has to do with this is actually like a deodorant for your private areas.
Wow.
For women, like private area deodorant.
Oh, Lord.
So I found that interesting.
Marketing.
We'll just take a look.
Let's take a gander.
This is where your eyes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
They created this.
This is where your ice cream comes from. The creamy
No,
poop of a mystic
not.
unicorn. Totally clean, totally cool, and soft served straight from a sphincter.
So yeah, Christian. That's super Christian, right?
That's just crazy.
They also did this one right here.
Oh my God.
You would not believe the mother lode I just dropped. And that's how I like to keep it, leaving not a trace that I was ever here, let alone that I just birthed a creamy behemoth from my cavernous bowels.
What?
Nothing is worse than...
You get the picture?
Oh, more than... speaking of nutter.
Bonjour.
Oh,
This
wow.
is the private area.
My friends always ask how I stay so elegant, even in less elegant situation.
Well,
The secret? I don't stink.
I can imagine riding a subway.
I could tell you, or I could sing you. I once used.
Culture shock.
There was I scratched
Oh my god,
until Lumi control, just like my butler.
this is
It's fine.
crazy.
He's no rashes. Lumi is all the parts. For this time, I tell you that
Oh, like the checkered
bacteria,
floor.
every time your body sweats or releases.
I was trying to see when I saw a clip where she was talking about like her downstairs area.
Well, I mean, yeah,
don't
we
know
get the
what it
picture. We get
But
the
the clip
picture.
that I clipped was this one. So they actually have
Oh yeah, this is nuts. I did see this one.
thing talking about The Chosen. Don't watch The Chosen, right?
Hello, class.
So
Oh my
watch this.
gosh, his volume works.
Hello, class. Welcome to hell. Chalk here sounds like fingernails. Erasers sound like Nickelback. But you know what's even worse? This high-quality TV series about Jesus called
Okay,
The
think about
Chosen.
Lori.
Today's lecture, how do we discredit it? How do we shut it down? And most of all, how do we stop watching it?
I know, right?
Know the trick.
So you can see how they're
Right.
kind of like normalizing demonology there.
Yeah.
They're normalizing it, like making
Because it's
like
inverted.
demons and Satan look, they're normal, right? Everyday average Joe. So I just wanted to make people aware of exactly
We appreciate you, Anon,
what they're
famous.
doing. I also found that Carlos Slim and John Paul DeJoria
yeah,
are
this
both
is
sponsors
crazy.
of F1 car racing, Formula One.
I was like, oh,
Carlos
KJ,
Slim is the Red Bull team
said that
sponsor
too.
through his subsidiary. I spelled that wrong. Claro,
Think about
and it's on the right ring of the F1 vehicles. Sergio Perez is the
Perez.
driver, one of the drivers for Red Bull, and he literally is like Carlos Slim's son. Like he raised him, that kid.
I wonder if he adopted him because that seems to be a pattern. I'm saying pattern because I'm just making fun of it. But think about all the I remember when I first met Brandon Boudreaux. And I mean, so I'm reading about LDS culture, LDS, I submersed myself feet first. I didn't know what the hell I was getting. I mean, I just was like, okay, whatever. I'm just going in, and I didn't have just basically a clean slate, just whatever. And because I didn't think that it would be, I thought it was Chad and Lori themselves, I didn't, but see, I want you guys to know, anybody that's new here, like, I don't believe it was just Chad and Lori. I believe that they have these gatherings, these call outs, so to speak, that like, Julie Rowe, allegedly takes part in. I mean, we've heard some of the voicemail where it's been chalked off to Julie Rowe just having mental issues. And while I don't disagree with that, I very much agree with that. Whenever you learn about MK Ultra and you learn about fragmenting the mind, which is something that runs rampant in it's called this is literally what they are called. The group that Chad and Lori belong to, in my opinion, is the same as David Hamlin, the same as Gordon Bowen, the same as Jody Hildebrandt, the same as Ruby Frankie, where they raise their kids inverted because they're raised inverted. And because of abuse that was inflicted upon them, they then, of course, inflict it upon their kids. And it's crazy because they talk about Jesus. They talk about, the same things that you and I would say, well, yeah, that tracks, so, okay. You don't really notice anything, and I mean, but it's through ye fruits. Okay. By ye fruits, ye shall know. And, of course, but I mean, I didn't know. I just was never around Lori. And they lived in Hawaii. They lived in Arizona. I wouldn't fly because I was a scaredy cat. And so, only when they would come to Lake Charles would I ever see them or whatever, But I mean, it's just interesting to me because when I picture Satan worshipers, I'm thinking like You know what I'm saying? Like the ones that would show up on Geraldo back in the day. I didn't even know about Satanic Panic. I mean, that's how much I don't know. I guess my mom just wasn't into it. I don't remember watching anything about it or whatever. I just remember hearing like friends talk about it in high school, middle school, high school, barely, and it would be more like a joke. Like oh my god, because we live by the woods too, and I say the woods. They were very, very, very minimal. It was probably more or less on somebody's property. But I mean, it just depends on where you live, I think, and who you're around and to what degree or literally what degree are you subjected to that kind of culture. But I mean, I find it really, it's not just in the Mormon church where it's infiltrated. It is in every facet of our lives. I mean, in my opinion, it is right here at the cream of the crop, the tippity top. Okay. These are your elites, and they sure do seem to be doing some nefarious things. Okay. Especially during inauguration day. And I mean, again, I'm not political. I just track the people that are in and around the people that are in and around Chad and Lori, And so, of course, Tim Ballard, Chad Daybell hosted a Operation Underground Railroad. It's called Rexburg Rescue Run. It was okay all the time, like this whole time prior to Chad Daybell's trial. I was always under. I remember just it was like this thing that just kept getting repeated and repeated and repeated that Tammy Daybell was training for a 5K race. Okay, and so we're like, well, how could she sounds like she's pretty top, in tip top shape. For her to just be falling over and dying, of natural causes. I mean, because Chad Daybell, in my opinion, he was on board with his wife never being uh whatever you call it, excavated. Anyways, I'm sorry. But he was okay with that. Those are secrets. And anyways, but whenever I learned, and I mean, I've had like little bits and pieces of some of these things, like I knew that Emma and Joe Murray had ran in a race. I've also seen Brennan Boudreaux and Melanie Boudreaux in racing gear, and I mean, then I found out allegedly, I mean, so all these things are allegations that till they come out in court, these people aren't just like, hey, here you go. They're not just very open with the information. So I hoard it like a mofo. And I remember seeing just these different bits and pieces. I remember hearing that Melanie Boudreaux allegedly donated $6,000 that, she had recently, her and Brandon had just, parted ways and they were going through their divorce. She had come across a substantial amount of money because, when you divorce, you have everything and all those fun things, right? Well, and I mean, this would have been when they were in Hawaii. So I was more or less waiting on that angle to like pop out and go, pat, but no, it was Chad's trial whenever his kids and son-in-law testified in his trial. And I'm like, oh, you are? What? So the same weekend that Tylee was murdered, you're telling me that Chad Daybell, Spring Creek Book Company, Chad and Tammy's book company, literally sponsored Operation Underground Railroad, and Chad wasn't there, but Tammy was there. I do have pictures to corroborate that Emma Daybell was not lying. Not on that part. Everything else, yeah, in my opinion, for sure. But Tammy Daybell was wearing jeans, a blue shirt that said volunteer on it, and they were at the end of the race. She was there with all her kids and some grands, and Chad was not there. It was September 7th, 2019. Emma Daybell lied, in my opinion, and said that she went and Googled southwest wind or whatever at her parents' house. But that would have been, she said she was planning for an event. But that event was September 7th, not September 8th. Tylee was burned September 9th. So bada bing, bada boom. What happened? What gathering? These people are depraved people and they're sneaky. And I believe, in my opinion, I believe that they use preparing a people, firm foundation, and things of that caliber to hide behind in order to, be all out full blown Satanist, straight up. And they are a network of people. And I mean, it's got to be like the lower totem pole of this Illuminati, whatever bullshit. That I'm just like, what the? Why can't these just be regular murders? And I mean, I don't know if that's bad for saying that now, but I'm just like, why do they have to be? Maybe I shouldn't have dug this deep. Maybe I shouldn't have dug this deep. That is my lesson. But I'd never forgive myself. Because it's just weird. It's weird, and they're weird, and they cover for one another. I think that guy, and I liked him too. I like people, but I don't full on worship them. Like I don't believe anybody in and around Chad and Lori's circle for sure. Okay. I try to take things that they've said and I listen for them, it'll catch my attention. And I'm like, what the hell wow, and then I kind of catch on to their rhetoric and turns out, they're really saying a lot more than just the untrained ear, I guess. People that are just following this case. And this is crazy. And I mean, you're not going to hear it. You're not going to hear it from Nadine. You're not going to hear it from Justin Lum or Fox 13. You're not. I mean, I've felt really, 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 oh my God, it's been a burden to carry. I mean, this kind of stuff, I've been wanting to just scream it, but it's so much in my mind. And without a proper, I don't know, again, I crammed all this information. So there's times when I have been alone with my mom and Larry, and I'm just like, okay, and I'm just like, blah, 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 and it just is so crazy. And then like mom will ask me questions, and then we end up, because it's so easy to get sidetracked because there are so many freaking rabbit holes, so many. And I'm not a very organized person, especially since this whole CPTSD crap, and I mean, and then now I'm older and all the things, right? I don't have an excuse, but it worries me sometimes because I'm just like, oh my God, my memory sucks. It does. So, I mean, that's freaky when you're like, holy crap, there's so much in my head that needs to come out that I have put together, I think. And I mean, I just present it. I mean, it's not like, here, this is church. This is what happened. This is the word of Kresh, that is not it at all. This is just I mean, there's no court higher than this, they're not going to do this kind of stuff because look at where it goes. Okay. They're not going to touch this. Look at how long it took Diddy, in my opinion, to get ousted, basically. And I mean, Lori and Chad are nothing burgers in the totem pole, in my opinion. Okay. She might have been thinking she was a goddess, but whatever. It also could be this secret society code. Okay. And I really think it is. Whenever a loved one, take them seriously whenever they tell you that they saw Jesus in the temple. Do. But really, really pay attention to what's going on. Be self-aware. Don't be complicit. I'm sorry, complacent. Don't be complicit either. Don't be complacent, just beware. I think sometimes we're like, prepper, doomsdayer, and it's just like, and I feel bad for those just regular people who were just taught to have extra food and all that, to prep. Again, anything in extreme is not good for us. Too much water can kill us. Not enough water can kill us. So, I mean, it's just got to be a comfortable balance in there. Anyways, I know this isn't kindergarten. I get it. But yeah, and I hate seeing this too. I didn't know how bad exploitation. It wasn't a thing before my family was murdered. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know. It just wasn't a thing. So many of these things I had never had to like process or even think about. I'm just like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I've never had to deal with this issue or that issue, but it really bothers me a great, great deal to see other people being controlled by manipulators and grifters of all kinds. And there's a dime a dozen, especially these people in and around Chad, Lori, Tim, in my opinion, all these Latter-day Satanists. I don't know what else to call them. Oh, but they go by the LDS Church of Satan. Don't just say Church of Satan, because then you'll be having the real legit Church of Satan call you out on Twitter like they did me. I was like, there's only so many characters, okay? A-holes. And the LDS Church of Satan, in my opinion, the regular one, just the regular one. They say they don't worship a deity, a dark one, but I do. I am of the opinion that that is false. Okay. I think it's just all a manipulation tactic to dupe as many people. Satan, I mean, whether you believe in God or not, I don't, whatever, I just be a good moral human being, with morals and some compassion, some empathy. Please be funny. Bring the jokes, okay? The snark, the dark humor. I know. I mean, just dealing with all this, researching all this is dark. It's pretty So I was already my uncle was like this too. I mean, this is just how we joke. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's how we roll. My mom, like she would, because I wouldn't fly. I would not fly. I had another uncle who died in a plane crash in 2001. And I mean, that's freaky. Him and 6 or 7 people crashed into a house in Missouri, Joplin, Missouri. And holy crap, I didn't really fly before that, but I definitely didn't want to fly after that. But then all this stuff happened with Tylee, JJ, and Charles, and Tammy, and having to go to Idaho. I was just like, I mean, if they can go through what they went through, moments, those are the ones that haunt me the most, because I'm just like, what really happened? We have all these pings, we have all the Wi-Fi bouncing off here and there, and we got just steadily people moving around, phones, information, data going away, burner phones kicking in. And I'm just like, what? It's so confusing to me. But what's not confusing, what I don't have to do freaking jumping jacks, I don't have to exercise, I don't have to do all the mental gymnastics it takes when I consider that this is what they're doing. It's an inverted practice of ritual abuse. It is it's a classic case of satanic ritual abuse. And I mean, Lori and Chad are still responsible. Satan didn't do it. Satan didn't make you do it. Okay. I don't believe in none of that shit. I'm just saying, I was just thinking about this before I came on, how hard that must have been for Tylee. I can't even imagine. I bet she never felt like she was ever adequate enough. And I mean, that just is heartbreaking. JJ had to have been confused, unless this is just normal. I don't know. I don't know what was said. I don't know what was done. I just know the evidence, right? Because evidence is important. How he allegedly knocked a picture of Jesus over, and that Lori told Melanie, and these could all be lies, straight up. I'm just saying. But the story we get was that JJ said, "I love Satan." And I'm like, I don't doubt it. Look at who he was, look at what was around them. And then going to Bear World, going to freaking, I can't think of the freaking park name, Yellowstone. It's weird. It is weird. And that's why it doesn't make sense, because it don't. And I've just the things that I've learned about, how about some shock value? And it's not pretty, but allegedly, the Hamblin daughters, their father was a clinical psychiatrist or psychologist. I get the two mixed. He was a Latter-day Saint, served callings, and he's actually related down the line to David Levitt. They hang around each other. David Levitt is actually, and his wife are actually named in the Hamblin the victim statements from the girls. Allegedly, this is all alleged. There's also 144 other higher status, more elite, and more higher in the church that were named in these statements. I have them. Email me. I'm more than happy to share the case with you. It's horrific. It's horrific. And these girls have been trying to get these people held accountable. Their parents held accountable at least. And they just keep getting loopholes. Their dad admitted, I can't say that it wasn't a whatever inside of me that did it, and I'm just like, the devil didn't do it. But it's generational. It's happened to them. It's happened to them. I think it's happened to Jody. I still haven't found this out, whether Jody Hildebrandt and her family, she was raised in Tucson. And then David Hamlin's family, they moved from New York, I think. New York, yeah. Which is where Gordon Bowen was for a time when he was working on Madison Avenue, and Bonneville Communications, and that's the church, basically. And he was being mentored allegedly by M. Russell Ballard, who is the common denominator with Mitt Romney, Tim Ballard, Gordon Bowen. I feel like I'm missing one. And I just find that crazy. That's just like, it's just like Tom Harrison being in all of these. How are you in Jody, Chad, Julie, and Tim's? Okay, these are the 4 main Mormons that like went cuckoo off the rails. And then what? It doesn't make sense to me. So it's not so much about the book. So anytime you hear somebody try to say it's not the book can't make. Correct. We understand. I understand. I understand the book I understand nobody can make anybody do anything that they don't really want to. I don't believe. I don't know. I'm sure that's ignorant, at least to an extent. But I mean, just saying, Lori had a murderous heart, straight up. She had a murderous heart. I think that's fair to say. Chad, he had poontang on his mind, okay? And it wasn't Tammy's, unfortunately. Tammy was doing some questionable ratings. I'm just being honest. I'm not shaming her. Just trying to understand what I'm working with. What is this? What is this? I want to see the truth, because if I'm just seeing distortions, to say it like Jody Hildebrandt, then I'm going to get a diluted and distorted view, right? So, not that I ever want Satanism or what they did to ever make sense, because but wouldn't you want to know if? I mean, you gotta think, David Warwick, OG, straight up OG. He would go speak on the same circuits before Preparing People even came along. So come on, Val Brinkerhoff, David Warwick, Tom Harrison, Karen Preer, Avraham Gigliotti. They're the OGs. They're still going at it. Then there's this younger class that came in, basically, and it is still continuing on, still defending Ballard, still. I mean, just. And whatever, to each their own, I'm not here to force anybody to see anything my way. I'm open, I really try to be fair when looking at these, when trying to size these up, make sense of them. I really study, and like I'm very observant. I'm just like, what's really going on? Sometimes I feel crazy and sound crazy with Jason. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to sound crazy, but I have to just say it, just, I want him to buck me, and he does. We buck every time. So, but yeah, they didn't even, there you go. They didn't even live together. He didn't know if he loved her, but right. I mean, I really think these two got married just because they thought they wouldn't have to testify against one another, straight up. I think they were like breaking out their pocketbook, their little pocket-sized constitution. I'm just saying. But I do. I mean, they traveled all the way over there. Melanie Gibb flew there right as the limo up to Rexburg, as the limo was flying back home to Arizona. And then here comes, the second part of the magic Black Magic Trip. And there is Melanie Gibb, who published her book the same day that she went to Rexburg. Then David Warwick goes there. She's like, oh, no. We sleep in different bedrooms. But there was no furniture of the kids. Or there was of JJ's a little, right? Because he was there, allegedly. She's like, no, he was cutting up on a pizza box, a cardboard box, right? We took him to the jumpy place. And why? Why are y'all about to kill him? Why? I really do. I do believe this. I do, because I've seen it in other cases where, and I do believe that Ruby Frankie did this to R. When she said, can you hear me while I'm talking to you underwater or something? Whatever she said from her journals. She says something along those lines. They put bags over their children's heads. This is that whole drug problem I believe they have, that I'm going to call it Drano. And I've done some more research into this, right? I need to upload that video, share it in my members only, because I mean, I don't think it's going to be, I'll say it, Melanie Gibbs lingo. I don't think it'll be received very well, you know. These things should be available. I mean, it is what it is, right? But why I believe this is what Tim Ballard is raving on. I mean, speaking to a whole, not just that group of people that he's trying to grift, in my opinion, but these are maybe his people. And he's trying to sell them on serving others. When you're giving, you get this high, basically. And I think it's more than that. I think that turning the pain up, stripping the kids of everything that they know, love, or comforted by. Their mom is a freaking psycho, hanging out with other psychos, and they're just like, what? Taking phones. I mean, just stripping them. I always thought it was just a narcissistic bitch move. Like, oh my God, who does? These are monsters. These are your babies, allegedly. These are supposed to be your babies, and you are, you know. Anyways, there's no crime scene for Tylee. I looked. I mean, I paid attention during all the proceedings, you know, and there's no crime scene. She was dismembered. She wasn't even all together. Where's the crime scene? Think about the people that own and have access to, and I hate to say it, but look at that freaking funeral home that was under raid or whatever right there in Rexburg. And then, you know, whenever my mom and Larry were coming home with JJ's remains, right? They were in a cremation box, blue, and it said Wood. And I was like, Wood? Like Rob Wood? Oh my God, Wood Crematorium? What the hell? I know it's a small town, but damn, you know. The place where we did their celebration for life or of life was in Idaho Falls, and it was sponsored by, I mean, the building was it was like a strip mall kind of thing. It was a theater that was, you know, I mean, kindly donated, or, you know, they let us do it there. I want to say no cost. I don't really know, but either way, they were gracious enough to open up their museum, which is another one of those things, you know. It's another, anyways, let me just keep going. But it was Lockheed Martin that had redone that whole strip mall. So I mean, that was just, I was like, oh, I mean, I just was starting to pay attention to my surroundings, and I picked up one of the flyers and I mean, I follow all kinds of people in their research, right? Because I think, oh my God, come here. I think we all hold a piece of this somewhere, some way, shape, or form, right? And I mean, this was the car gallery, and anybody, the Son of Sam, there's cars, the CARRs. I mean, not just in that one. If you read Program to Kill by Dave McGowan, it's a free PDF. I have the link if you would like it. But it seems to be the patterns of these Satanists, okay? They are into arts, music, harps. Ruby played harp and piano, taught piano to her kid. I mean, if y'all listened or read Sherry's book, holy crap. I'm just like, oh my God, I want to know. But, it's something you don't just come right out and ask, but you just try to read between the lines. Maybe it's stuff that she hadn't woke up to yet, I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. I really do. But they're into arts. Look at Abrama. Wait, what's her name? Oh my God. I just because I said it, and she's Ukrainian. Abrama, whatever. I'm gonna jack it up. I know Chris will be able to slide right in there. Or plenty of you will be able to just all of a sudden Abrama Milkovich or something. Abramovich. Anyways, I might go grab that real quick. Yeah, we're only at 2 hours. We are doing good, gang. Let me finish playing this though while I'm searching up some clips real quick. Oh my gosh. I already went in and out like 3 different times. Oh my gosh. All right. Thanks for
John Paul DeJoria is a major investor in the Austin, Texas circuit.
Oh.
And he tried to get his Rokit group to be a sponsor for Team Williams, but they terminated the deal to 2023.
For who?
So
Team Williams?
There's a connection between the two investors of the movie Sound of Freedom. I started doing more digs into the Chosen. The creators of the Angel Studios, the Harmon brothers, are Mormon.
Programming
right?
much.
There's like 4 Harmon brothers, 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're all Mormon. They're all part of the Mormon Church, and they all
10%.
The church invests into their company.
I will.
Most likely. And
I will. Thank you.
The Chosen is pushing quotes from their religion into like the Book of Mormon into the series. So Mormonism is like they base their religion off of Christianity.
Yes.
But their religion's kind of it's messed up because they believe that God was a physical man who had sex with Mary and then she had Jesus.
Think about Joel Osteen.
Jesus had 3 wives, that Joseph Smith is a descendant of Jesus.
Again, I think this is going through all these churches because I remember not long ago hearing I watch all kinds of channels, okay? And I want to say this one was breaking down Joel Osteen. But from a believer's perspective, they were breaking it down. So sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. I take what I need and I leave the rest. You know what I mean? And so these little nuggets kind of make sense later on. And how they were saying that, Joel Osteen came out with a movie that basically portrayed Mary not in a biblical way. Perversion, okay? It's just another way to exploit our belief system, those of us who do believe in it, in God, Jesus, the atonement of Christ, all the things. I don't have the right words, okay? I don't speak that kind of tongue. I just know in my heart. But it's just interesting, especially with all these quote unquote Christians and hardcore LDS Mormons, who their Bible, according to Joseph Smith, had to be translated correctly, which is the most narcissistic thing I've ever heard. Okay. It really is. I'm not trying to be ugly. Have you ever just kind of stepped back from that statement and just pretend like that person is living right now today? And if they were like, yes, but let me correct that because it needs to be true. And so what you have written is not true. And I mean, this is supposed to be something, a holy scripture word. I don't have the words, but that is, you don't F with it. Okay. Like it, anyways, for what it's worth. Then you have Jason Mao being in that movie, Speak No Evil, yada, 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 talking about zombies and crap. I mean, come on now. This is nuts. It is nuts. I know. It really is. When you start looking at these things, yes, you're going to find even more crap and it's going to freak you out some. And I'm just like, what? Again, why can't these just be old-fashioned murders? Or just why do they have to be murders in the first place? But then why do they have to be all complicated? A great deal. Just think about all the ones that have gone to trials. I think about Richard Allen. Oof. I don't know. I didn't even follow that case, but I did as it was going down because I was just like, wow. And I mean, not and now scooting totally away from that. I'm just looking like my brother's in prison. That's JJ's birth dad. He lost his uncle Charles. He lost his son, who was adopted by Lori and Charles. You know what I mean? Like he lost Tylee. He lost, well, yeah, that's the three. Oh, I mean, he even lost JJ's mom in 2021 or two. I forget now. 21. I mean, he's in prison. So it's like there's one side of me that's like, oh yeah, go to jail, prison, and you just lock the door and you throw away the key, right? But it's just not that easy, because I love my brother. I believe that people can have second chances. I believe that Lori and Chad can. I don't think so. I don't think you just come back from that. They can't even be honest with themselves. Lori is current time. We are heading to trial. When, evidence is pretty clear that my uncle was ambushed. Okay. And instead of saving any kind of class or respect for the dead, which we know that is not in her cards. She is not interested in even salvaging their legacies. Okay. She's blaming her own daughter for some, I don't even want to repeat it, but it's nasty. And so she is hardcore still possessed. I don't know. I'm just saying, if a person were ever possessed, it was her. When I saw her black eyes, when they're usually blue. Okay. I was like, ooh, I don't even know who that is anymore. I mourn the death of my aunt because I don't know who the hell that was. She is a freaking somebody I used to know straight up. And I don't know who that is. And so the ones that are calling other people zombies, snuffing their light, the light out of them, the life out of them, and then exploiting them to the nth degree all the way till today. Okay. These are the people who are, projecting their demons, their belief system. It's inverted. It's so inverted and it's concerning. It's concerning. And how many more are there?
So, and here's a cool YouTube clip talking about, or not cool, but he pretty much explains why The Chosen's like not what you think it is.
I've never watched it, so see, I learned
the video working
kind of stuff.
Warning. The following episode contains scenes of
the show properly. That's all that matters. So that all
comes directly from God's word.
He skips around a lot. I'm
comes
sorry.
From an evangelical perspective. We were sitting at our computer and the number hit the 10
So this
million.
guy is the director of The Chosen. And this guy in the video just proves that he says he's not Mormon, that he's a Christian, but in reality, everything he's saying is like directly tied to Mormonism.
Down her face.
So that's what this guy in the video is trying to do.
Number one, Dallas Jenkins owns only 44%.
That's the guy's name, Dallas Jenkins, the director of The Chosen.
Percent of The Chosen. Okay, the other 56% is owned by Mormons. That's a proven fact. Number two, Dallas Jenkins goes on LDS podcasts and shows regularly to defend the Mormon religion. That is a problem, and that is unbiblical. Number three, The Chosen, especially in season 2 and 3, was shot on an exclusive LDS stage in Utah that is for Mormons only.
There is a location here in Utah that we had wanted and thought would be amazing, but it didn't seem like it was possible. It's this unbelievable recreation of Jerusalem, but it hasn't been used by outsiders, and people started feeling led just out of the blue. They would wake up in the morning and feel led by God to talk about the show with other people. This has been prayed over and how this place has been built, and now we have an opportunity to make use of it. So we were told no.
We all know President Nelson's watching it with his family on Saturday nights. Like, I wouldn't.
I mean, I don't know.
Anyways, yes, there's no formal endorsement. Got it.
Right, and of course, we are the first.
Never.
non-LDS organization or people to ever use this set in 10 years. But the quorum of the 12 and the first presidency, those are the terms that I think I've learned. I set foot on that set and I felt the presence of God, and I felt like this is right.
That should cause some hairs to be raised there. Number 4, Vid Angel or Angel Studios that distributes The Chosen is owned exclusively by Mormons. And number 5, Dallas Jenkins and many of the main actors in The Chosen affirm Catholicism. They get their inspiration from Catholic priests, and it's been documented that they spend time and have spent time with the Pope.
Oh, yeah.
Again, this is some problems that we have to address when looking at The Chosen. I know a lot of you say, but it's good entertainment, and it talks about the authentic Jesus. No, it does not. This is not the authentic Jesus that's being portrayed on The Chosen, and we're going to prove that. Now, I want you to see, before we get into too much also, I want to show you that Dallas Jenkins, it's been proven that he has zero discernment. Please understand that.
Is crowdfunding record
recorded.
If you question his discernment,
it's about an encounter with Ravi Zacharias.
So you guys get the picture, right?
No, I guess.
It's yeah. I mean, a lot of people are fans of The Chosen, right? Especially Christians, and like Christians who study the Bible, they're fans of The Chosen, but it's run by the Mormons, and the Mormons, you know, they twist scripture.
It is twisted.
Secret societies.
I don't know much, but I could
more to it than people realize. Myself. Definitely more to it than people realize. Another dig I found out yesterday is that Tim Ballard is represented by WME.
Yeah,
one of the largest talent agencies in the world. And WME is a subsidiary of Endeavor.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Ballard's a certified actor, right? Because only like really high up celebrities are part of the WME and CAA. And CAA has ties to the CIA, other government organizations. So, yeah, like this is Tim Ballard's main page. You know, if you want to get a hold of him, it says Tim Ballard, agent and management, contact here. So what is Tim Ballard? Like, is he an actor? Is he a guy that's part of OUR? Like, what is he?
He's whatever.
Tim Ballard, WME.
He's a flim flam man.
We got information. Through his reality series, those reality series never panned out. Ballard is represented by WME. There it is. You know, there you go.
Oh, I'm looking at some really weird shit.
And this is the CIA webpage. It says to achieve his goals, OPA's entertainment industry relies on works with creatives to make their scripts, stories, and other products as authentic as possible. So yeah, CIA works with like Hollywood, of course. You guys know that.
Yeah. And see, he did this like 2 years ago. So right as the movie was coming out.
Seeing that the CAA and the CIA work together. But also Rose McGowan was at that. Remember the thing I was talking about earlier? The Haiti Fund. The Haiti Fund.
Just think about yeah.
Creative Arts Agency. That's the one she was a part of.
So what I was saying earlier about Christina Atwood and like Jason Mao, like whenever Hurricane Katrina hit, he allegedly went to New Orleans, which freaks me out. It's too close to home. And you know, they're heroes. They need us to be victim minded or whatever. And that way, because they have this hero complex, they have this savior complex, right? I mean, that for sure, I know I've witnessed it in every one of these people, not that he's talking about, but like Lori and Chad's circle, just they need to save people. They have to save people because think about what Tim said whenever he cropped up that story, in my opinion, about Marty Gardy and how, you know, he was called to go, I don't know, rescue Marty Gardy, which he has not, which is disgusting. It's horrible. But that kid's been exploited from day one. But he said that Catherine, his wife, grabbed him by the collar and was like, "You will not stand in between me and my salvation," or whatever. It's a big dramatic shock doctrine, that's supposed to tug at your heartstrings, because that's how we actually feel. We are empaths. Like, we have empathy and compassion. That is something they do not. They mock it. They're actors, and they exploit it, in my opinion. But think it's like that, like your salvation depends on you going and getting brownie points, basically, or saying you're going to get brownie points, because he never actually does, in my opinion. He just exploits it. And I believe Catherine is part of the club. Okay, I would think you have to be. I don't think that you just sit at home with all your little kids and grandbabies and stuff and just do. No, I believe that these people, they benefit from the lifestyle. They I mean, she and Catherine and Janet Russin had that. Oh my God, that freaks me out. Children need families. That adoption, whatever, grant place, that I hope they never touch another adoption agency. And I mean, like, Janet Russin has adopted some kids. Lori adopted my nephew. And it's just like, okay, what is that, like the new thing? Or is that like the thing? I believe, people are like, well, Tim, he adopted two little kids. And I'm like, do you ever see him holding any of his white children in these flyers or anything that's getting face value? It's a pity play, in my opinion. And I feel sorry for those kids. I feel bad. I feel like they were adopted, and this might come off, this might run you off. I don't know. I'm being sincere. I don't know. It's just in my heart, it's just like, it just don't seem right. It don't seem right. I hope it's genuine. I pray to God it's genuine. I pray to God that that's not another way of trying to draw you in, or our grandmothers, you know what I'm saying? Where they'll open up their pocketbook, because who doesn't want to take somebody like that at face value? Who doesn't want to? That would make me feel psycho, like, oh my God, I'm being a bitch, but am I? Or, I mean, now that I kind of know better, it's at least with Tim, I'm just like, it's like, once you pick up on it, you can't stop, and it's not to harp on him, but I want him exposed. I believe that, whether Tim Ballard was in and around Tylee and JJ in their last moments, I will never know. But, and all their little click, it just, too close. Too close. And Tylee and JJ didn't live through that. Okay. Tim Ballard's kids have. Why? Why are some of them, salvaged? Are they abused? It's really hard to tell in some of these cases, but we want proof, right? Right. No, I don't want proof. I'm just like, I mean, how many inversions do we have going on here? It's pretty disheartening, and concerning, in my opinion.
And this is the guy that owns Endeavor. Ari Emanuel, he's the owner of
I don't even know what Endeavor is. This is nasty.
Kind of a creepy photo. Sorry about that. That's the next post. All right. I know. So we just
have to inform everybody, the best we can.
So that's the thing. This Ari Emanuel guy is very interesting because he owns UFC. So Endeavor owns this talent agency and the UFC.
I used to love Chuck Liddell.
So it's like, it makes back in the day. Wonder, like, why is Trump going to these UFC events? And
right,
this guy's tied to Elon Musk. Like, remember that shirtless photo with Elon Musk, like on the ocean? This guy's pictured with him, like on his private yacht with Elon, like jumping into the ocean. Elon's pale as a ghost, and this guy's like super tan and fit.
I imagine he is.
And yeah, like this guy has ties to really deep ties to Israel. And his whole family is like in the government. Like, he has brothers working in like the White House and politics. So like, I did a dig into his family, and yeah, it's
okay.
The family's suspicious.
Let's
his
dig,
dad
y'all.
Was like in Israel. Like, if you dig into his dad, he was like he was an Israel guy, like a fanatic, in Israel. Like he was considered like a terrorist.
Think about the
So, pretty
TNF,
crazy stuff.
the Nazarene Fund with Glenn Beck. That's Tim Ballard's other
So yeah, why
nonprofit.
the UFC thing? Everyone's like a lot of people
Tequila.
in our movement are fans of UFC and Elon Musk.
Well, there's
and it's like
the
what's
wrestling
actually
too.
happening behind the scenes. All right, so the reason I have these photos of these actors is because these are the WMA and Endeavor's notable clients. Quentin Tarantino, we got Mel Gibson again, Tim Ballard, Queen Latifah, John Travolta, the Wachowski brothers, the creators of The Matrix, J.J. Abrams, he did the new Star Wars. Oh, look at that. Fox News anchor, Maria Bartiromo. Bartiromo. I don't know how to say her name. Eminem, 50 Cent, Britney Spears, Kanye West, Ricky Gervais, James Franco, Mark Wahlberg again. He comes up again.
He's Diddy's
Kim
business
Kardashian
partner.
comes up again. And you can see this is Quentin Tarantino kissing like, look how like people think that's like a child's leg.
Oh.
We got Kanye West, who's tied to Balenciaga. James
That's
Franco
fancy.
and Marina Abramovich. Kim Kardashian, One Eye Symbolism, Eminem. So, yeah. And here's the source I got it from. So these are all the actors. We got Tim Allen. There's a ton of actors. Tim Allen, Josh Brolin, Russell Crowe, Brendan Fraser, Tommy Lee Jones, Denzel Washington again.
Everybody is just cracking the worldview, man.
Tim Burton.
Just I don't care
TV.
anymore.
I don't know if you guys recognize these names.
Care about truth.
I don't recognize those names. Kelly Ripa, Whoopi Goldberg, Larry
Paul
King, Jim
Huddleston.
Kramer,
Tony
Rachel
Robinson.
Ray,
Oprah.
Al Roker, Ryan Seacrest, Jerry Springer,
Oh my gosh.
Lou
All of them.
Dobbs.
You might as well put
Eagles, Eminem, 50 Cent, Foo Fighters, Josh Groban.
I love the Foo Fighters
Whitney
too.
Houston, Alicia Keys, Nine Inch Nails,
Oh my
Jam,
God.
Tom Petty, Britney Spears, Taylor Swift, Kanye, Amy Winehouse. All these actors. I mean, I'm not going to go through them all.
Yeah.
Ton.
I won't support them anymore as much as I can control it.
So now we got, I want to do a shout out to Genghis Khan's horse for having my back. Thank you, Genghis Khan, for having my back. Looks like it's just me and you and a couple other accounts who are trying to get this information out there. No one else has the balls to get this out there.
Oh, I can't see what he's doing. I'm looking for something else.
Yeah, man. Shout out to you. You've been shouting me out on your podcast, so I'm giving you a shout out. Thanks, man. I got this information from his True Social.
And I got it from him.
Freemasons collecting children's data, Georgia chips. So yeah, all the save the children, scare the parents, implant the chips.
Oh yeah, stranger danger.
Is that part of their whole plan, right?
Mm-hmm. In my opinion, yeah.
So we got the GA chip, Georgia, one of the most comprehensive child recovery identification and abduction awareness programs ever to be offered to Georgia parents. And then here's the chip. We got the Freemason logo, public event. What if your child is missing? Yeah, so they're adding it to information there.
Missing and exploited children, which is John Walsh, my parent.
And this information just broke yesterday. Tim Ballard isn't even part of OUR anymore.
Nope.
And this article said that he left OUR, but yeah, that's the thing. Like, I did more research into this, and it looks like Tim Ballard hasn't even been a part of OUR since 2019. Like, he was CEO in 2019, and in 2019 he left. So he hasn't even been CEO.
I think he was getting a paycheck, though.
He's just been considered the founder since 2019. So this article might mean he stepped away from it permanently. So he was just considered the founder, just hanging around. Now he's like totally stepped away from it. But yeah, in 2019, he hasn't even been part of the functions or whatever. So I don't know what's happening.
Oh,
and I said this yesterday because I got a lot of people saying in my chat, "Oh, what if Ballard is a white hat? What if he's a good guy, right? What if Ballard's a good guy, right? He flipped. He's for us.
Whatever.
What if that happens? What if that's the case?
That's on
They're
him.
trying
Then.
to tell me to stop digging into him.
It'll show.
And it's like, well, okay, all right, I'll go with you there. Yeah, what if Ballard is a good guy? What if Ballard is a good guy? Yeah, sure. And he's considered flipped. Well, then wouldn't that mean he want the good guys would want us to still dig up the bad guy network that he's a part of or he's infiltrated, right?
He's eradicating.
Would you guys want to know that network that he's all a part of?
That's a good one. Yeah.
So that's what I said, and then I'm like, okay, and if he's a bad guy, then digging is necessary anyway.
I will always bring it back
so
to Kylie and
okay,
JJ.
then why are you guys complaining about people digging into Ballard then? There you go.
Why does it bother? Yeah.
There's a good meme, Sound of Panic. At the end, so here's a video clip. At the end of credits of Sound of Freedom.
Thank you all for coming out and watching this movie.
We have Jim Caviezel saying, "Give me money."
Yep.
Because we're in the theater.
Right here.
But feel free to pull out your phones and scan this QR code. We don't want finances to be the reason someone doesn't see this movie.
I mean, come on, poor mouth.
Boldly has set up a pay it forward program.
God should come down here and slap the shit out of all y'all. Just saying.
If you're able, we invite you to.
I'm not perfect, but I don't try to be either. I don't scam people. Nasty. I don't diddle kids.
Available free tickets with as many friends as you can.
Yep, there you go.
Or anybody else.
Give us more money, please. We don't care about you. Just money.
It doesn't. You can't throw money at things, man.
Money. And this is an interesting clip of Jim Caviezel right here. We have Jim Caviezel.
So the agents that I got to work with got to show me things, and one particular time he says, "Are you sure you want to go further?" But I was weeping so hard. I said, "This is what Tim goes through. This is what I got. I got to see it in order to go into there, to take people to a level of, will you do something? Will you do something? At some point, it ends for all of us." And so the pain is much better than the pain in the future. And if I have to see that to save my children,
he's an actor.
To motivate me to save my niece, to tell my sister, that's how I.
So yeah, he watched child porn and like snuff films to get into character for a movie that opened #1 at the box office, led to 0 arrests.
I agree.
He has 3 adopted kids from China and a very bizarre wife. His wife looks like a man if you haven't seen her. Yeah, the whole thing is insane. The whole thing's insane.
Like a lady.
And he said he imitated what Tim Ballard did. So Tim Ballard does the same thing. He watches child porn, snuff films, whatever.
Yep, he said he has a large
and this is the last thing right here. So this is Paul Hutchinson, executive producer of Sound of Freedom.
Oh, Paul, his ex-wife.
Chromosome parties with celebrities. So what?
Allegedly.
Look at this. So this is his personal website right here. We host 10 to 15 events every year with 150 people or more attending. Everything from Halloween parties, 300 plus attendees in a year, supercars, charity fundraisers, or Y chromosome parties.
Huh?
What in the world is that?
What the hell?
That sounds sketchy.
I can't read it on here.
What in the world is Y chromosome party? So here's a clip of Paul Hutchinson talking.
Executive producer of the Sound of Freedom movie, starring Jim Caviezel. Jim plays the part of Tim, the Homeland Security agent who recruited me, and that changed my whole life. I'm sitting on this chair, and this 11-year-old girl, not much taller than I was, standing in front of me with tear stains in her makeup face, scared to death. And I thought, this is crazy. Every cell in my body wanted to just hug these kids and say, "You're going to be fine. You're going to see your parents." And I couldn't say that. And I took her little hands and I said, "Está bien, it's okay." And they went back in the house. The most beautiful moment of my life up to that time was after the agents came and stormed the party and arrested everybody. And the Child Protective Services people came in with the children and they started laughing and singing with the children. And that sound of freedom changed my
That should
whole life.
bother
I
you.
started crying and I
It should
turned
bother
to Sean and I said, bro, I said, this changed my life. I've spent years.
It's not about Sean Reyes, the Attorney
whose
General
dad
of Utah.
is
But
crazy.
I just wanted to show this video because this guy sounds creepy, right? Like he has like that little lisp, that little gay lisp, right? Why
Yeah.
parties? Does that mean like
I'm gonna
what
have
does
to
that
Google
mean? Is that like
I don't freaking
gay
know.
orgies? What is that?
Why
And he's like getting
chromo
emotional about touching like a
parties?
young girl. Like what the it's so weird. It's so weird. Okay. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Years making money, making rich people richer. Now I've done a lot with charity, but that was powerful. How executive producer of this.
So something feels off.
Big
Something
time.
feels off.
Well,
All
that
right,
just
that's
threw me
it.
for a loop.
That's all I got. That is all I got.
You did great, man.
I think this might be the way I'm gonna go because this people just want to see the proof and want to see the
It's good talk
actual
points.
like content that I'm explaining. So this is the way to go. I think videos and sharing it with people. It's just one-stop shop. If people are too busy, they can just watch a video of it. They don't have to wait for the information to come out. And I'll start a Rumble account for you guys because I mean,
I don't know. I don't have that.
this information is important to get out there, and I don't like the way bigger accounts are like trying to suppress this information. It's really sketchy.
I know.
You know, like how bigger accounts are getting like upset that other accounts are digging up this information. Oh, it's
Well,
important, you know.
get it
Like,
out there.
This is the network, guys. This is it. This is tied to the Hollywood. This is tied to Hollywood. This is tied to everything. So you have to keep an eye out for the accounts that are telling you guys, oh, don't dig into the Sound of Freedom, like that are getting sketched out that people are digging into it.
Or why would you? Yeah, it's weird.
By digging more into the film, it's going to expose the accounts that are just pretending, right? That are just out there.
And can we just say, I mean, with my whole like experiencing Diddy, just how that is playing out, and so many people are like, oh my God, why are they just now saying something? And oh my God, I've never seen this. And it's like, it's just to what degree we're open to it. You know, I would have never, I don't think that I'd ever traveled this road had it not been for Tylee and JJ and Charles being murdered. I'd probably still be, you know, creating stuff and doing things that, you know, I used to really enjoy. And it's not that like I really, I don't know. I was made for this too, you know, like just digging things up and just like pondering on them and like trying to just figure it out. It's like a mind puzzle though. And I used to be physical with my hands and I would create things and I would sell them and, you know, or just display them. Anyways, it's just something I've always done. And I haven't done that since all this happened. So anyways, and it's a vow I made to my Uncle Charles and to Tylee and JJ that I would not stop until my family's until everyone with my family's blood on their hands was held accountable. And I realized that that was unrealistic and that would never be obtainable. So the equivalent to that is to expose, right? I don't want to get murdered. I mean, that is factual evidence in my life. You know, there were 3 people that were robbed prematurely. And then my mom was on their hit list. She had a zombie name and everything. It was Rhonda. Okay. So anyways, I really do appreciate your guys' support. And I'm still play the rest
Putting
of
on
this.
a
I
narrative,
gotta show y'all
right?
something too.
That might be plants. They might be plants.
I'm looking up
so
the
this information is like hitting these accounts right where it hurts. Constant digging, and it's hitting them right where it hurts, and they're trying to dig out of this hole. You can see them scrambling out there. So just keep that in mind next time you're observing these accounts out there. Okay, and you know they're gonna have to answer for this because this is all like really
nefarious,
really concerning information. It is. It's really concerning. So, I mean, hopefully that's enough proof for you people out there that are trying to say that I don't have any proof. Is that enough proof for you? Is that enough sources for you? Is that enough?
I think it climbed all the way up in Diddy's case too.
Ya? Okay, that's
I really do.
that's a ton. And I'm gonna keep doing this.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like this is the moment I think I've been waiting for. For those of you that have been following me for 2 years, right? I've been telling you guys I'm going to dig into history and figure out
where it's at.
I'm going to figure out the Cabal, like what exactly they've been all about throughout history. I'm going to figure them out. So that's what I've been doing for 2 years. Figure them out. So when it comes time, I'll be ready for the battle, the present day battle. I'll be prepared. I'll know exactly who the bad guys are. I'll know exactly what organizations they represent. I know exactly what's happening. So all this research is going to come to a point where I'm going to start talking about all these people in present day. And I think we might be at that point with Tim Ballard.
I had you too.
Because the Mormon Church is connecting my Christian research.
He's not very strong in his Mormon research.
All the symbolism with the Knights Templar. Like, how about that? I made a whole series on the origins of the Knights Templar.
Yes, he did.
And then, like, all these guys are connected to Knights Templar. What in the world is happening? Okay, this is God leading me with the Holy Spirit. That's the only thing I can explain. I'm not any white hat guy. I'm not part of any organization. I'm just a random dude who is digging into stuff. So to make a complete series on the Knights Templar like 5 months ago, and then for this to be all connecting, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
that is the Holy Spirit talking to me, guiding me.
Years ago,
and that's the only thing I can explain. That's the only way I can explain it, because no one else was talking about the origins of the Knights Templar back then, or Knights Templar back then. I was the only one. So it's like everything's coming together for me, and
I'm glad.
You know, it's gonna. I think we're at the point where my digging is going to become like present day.
Oh,
you know, I might my Substack will be, you know, used for important things. It'll be used for important I'm going to still make Substacks. Okay. I'm going to still create Substacks.
I need a website.
Of things that I find important. But right now, currently, I think I'm going to be focusing on like this. Because this right here is exposing them. It's a sore spot in the Cabal. Very sore spot. And it's exposing these infiltrators in our movement very easily. Because they don't know what to do. There's so much information in this. So much. Okay. And I just see you just got to keep hitting the sore spot, because the truth is going to come out. You know, it's going to come out, and God's using me and the Holy Spirit, and there's nothing the Cabal can do about it, because it's God leading me. He has all the wisdom, so he's giving me tips and clues here and there. So, but yeah. Like this might be the moment that I turn my research to present day research. So this might be it.
I believe so, my man.
We'll see. I still want to finish the Christian series I'm doing, the persecution of Christian series. I still want to finish that, but I'm actually learning a lot about the different denominations with these current digs with Tim Ballard and all this stuff. I'm learning like what other denominations believe, like the Mormon Church. I didn't know about that stuff. So
I know.
I'll be ready when I talk about that in my series. But this is important right here. This video is very important, and I hope to spread the message. Spread the message, because no one's talking about it. No one wants to talk about it.
God, I
this
need
is
help.
Important information people know about. It's the truth.
I'm just waiting on him to stop.
And it's going to expose these stupid little accounts that are pretending to be Anons and are doing nothing. They're just sitting there and doing nothing. So that's my message to everyone, and hopefully you guys learned something. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right. Peace. Bye.
All right, bye, Jim Caviezel. Okay, hold on. Let me stop that. Yeah, I'm stop. I am so appreciative of his work. And this guy has, oh my God, like he's been using his Substack, okay? And he just lines it out. Mine's, I just go in there and I have a Substack as well. And I don't know. I'm just intimidated by writing, okay? It's just at first I didn't know how to frame it. I don't know. I'm just still forming all this up, It's not like you have a cheat sheet, not like you can go copy off somebody, okay? There's nothing to really compare it to. This is like chiseling it out, okay? And so I'm just like, I'm not a researcher. Like I've never gone to school for any of this kind of stuff. I didn't know what a link was. I didn't know that a hashtag was something you could press and it would like send you somewhere with other things that were just like it. I mean, I'm sure people were like, "Oh my God, she's an asshole." I didn't know. It was never intentional. I didn't know that you should credit people. I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know the way of social media land. Okay, I was thrown into Twitter, Reddit, here, Facebook. I had only done Facebook, and then the kids and Charles and everything, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And you didn't have time to even like stop. It was just go. So it's like sink or swim, sink or swim. When I was looking into nonprofits, I was just like, oh, I don't have time. I don't have the brain capacity to even, because I mean, I wanted to know what it's pretty big nonprofit organization, in my opinion, from where I come from is a pretty big deal. But then I was like, oh my God, these people just crop up with all these NPOs all the time. What? Nonprofit. They're not supposed to be profiting, first off, like that struck me as odd how they could just get them up so fast. I was like, oh yeah, I need to study this because I don't understand what the hell. Anyways, but Megan, like I don't know, either that, I mean, I was like thinking about this today, just like I'd have to rewrite it, of course, but it's like the struggle, like just to see how he's framed it, that helps because I'm okay. I can kind of see how that's structured. It's like my brain's not organized like that. It is not. It is far from organized. It's frustrating to not have an organized brain. I'm ADHD. I was diagnosed when I was 28, I think, maybe later. I don't really remember, but yeah, that's a big difference. So, but only because of the circumstances, I believe. But Jason, one day I asked him, I was like, so what if you could like picture me in any job or career, I was like, what would it be? He was like, oh, he said, definitely a paralegal. And I was like, really? I'm dumb to the law. Okay. I learn it right here with you guys as we go. And, I know, look, I was looking that up while he was talking, so I didn't see what he was showing, but let me, because I still have it on the screen. Let me just do this again. Bam. And then I'm going to back it up. Probably after this ad. Okay.
Texans from all walks of life are ready to vote on destination resorts.
It would definitely bring better paying jobs here.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Okay. I did not know. I hate that. I have
for the rest of my days, man. I'm always going to wonder
not cool.
What would have
Another
happened
ad.
if I didn't have burn.
Oh my God. Okay, let me scooch it quietly to the end. It'll probably make me watch a 2-minute ad.
You're not a child. You're
All
a
right.
man.
So
So
while I
stop
mute
wearing
this.
so many.
Oh my God. Hold on. I don't even know where it just sent me. Okay, here we go.
layers to go
I just need the
outside
volume.
and get the Bearskin Tactical Hoodie 4.0.
Oh, wow, down.
It's gonna
Scooch this back. Come on, man. We're playing with ads.
open number 1 at the box office, led to 0. Back. Thank you, Genghis Khan, for having my back. Looks like it's Georgia, one of the most comprehensive child recovery identifying. Like, I did more research into this, and it looks like Tim Ballard hasn't even been a part of OUR.
Okay, we scooch forward.
So
Somewhere
that's what
around
I said. And then I'm like, okay. And if he's a bad guy, then digging is necessary anyways. So I was like, okay, well, then why are you guys complaining about people digging into Ballard then?
Y chromosome parties.
There you go. Doesn't make
I
any
don't
sense.
see anything.
There's a good meme, Sound of Panic. At the end, so here's a video clip. At the end of credits of Sound of Freedom.
Thank you all for coming out.
It'll be after this. I'm
we
scared
have
to
Jim
skip.
Caviezel saying, just give us more. So yeah, he watched
11-year-old girl. Not
Okay,
or Y chromosome parties.
Okay, hold on.
Number one at the
No.
box office led to 0.
Before he even comes out with that again, like where I went was those symbolism, those emojis that were being overly used between all the girls in the group, the 7 gatherers, I guess you could say, except Summer is not a 7 gatherer. So, but I mean, just that male female symbolism. But I looked up while he said that. I went and looked up what is a Y chromosome party Utah, and I mean, this is my second page looking into this, and I mean, I don't know, but just the chromosome, just the chrome. I'm just. So many times I've been like, I don't, this isn't me. This isn't like me, but I don't believe this shit. Okay. They do. And this is where their beliefs lead me. And it's crazy town, straight cuckoo town. What the hell is that? Click it one time. Okay. Y chromosome. I don't think that's a party, but I mean, just think about the flavor camps and stuff like that with Diddy and just the, yeah. No, ma'am. Let me go back to here and let me go back more to back where Paul Hutch.
Arrest. He has 3 adopted kids from China and a very bizarre wife.
We're about to go into it.
His wife looks like a man if you haven't seen her.
Thank you.
Yeah, the whole thing is insane. Whole thing's insane.
Thank you.
And he said he imitated what Tim Ballard did. So Tim Ballard
That's a weird
does
term
the same
though,
thing.
huh?
He watches child
Hey,
porn,
Natalie.
films, whatever.
All right, I mean, had that.
And this is the last thing right here. So this is Paul Hutchinson, executive producer of Sound of Freedom. He hosts Y chromosome parties with celebrities. So watch, look at this. So this is his personal website right here. We host 10 to 15 events every year with 150 people or more attending. Everything from Halloween parties, 300 plus attendees in a year, supercars, charity fundraisers, or Y chromosome parties. What in the world is that? That sounds
That's
sketchy.
your friend. Sound big.
What in the world is Y chromosome party?
Freaking
So
hell.
here's a clip of Paul Hutchinson talking.
Executive producer of the Sound of Freedom movie starring Jim Caviezel. Jim plays the part of Tim, the Homeland Security
I know,
agent who
Lindsay.
recruited me, and that changed my whole life. I'm sitting on this chair, and this 11-year-old girl, not much taller than I was, standing in front of me with tear stains in her makeup face, scared to death. And I thought, this is crazy. Every cell in my body wanted to just hug these kids and say, you're going to be fine. You're going to see your parents. And I couldn't say that. And I took her little hands and I said, está bien, it's okay. And it went back in the house. The most beautiful moment of my life up to that time was after the agents came and stormed the party and arrested everybody. And the Child Protective Services people came in with the children, and they started laughing and singing with the children. And that Sound of Freedom changed my whole life. I started crying, and I turned to Sean and I said, bro, I said, this changed my life. I've spent years.
It's about Sean Reyes, the Attorney General
Reyes.
of Utah. But I just wanted to show this video because this guy sounds creepy, right? Like he has like that little lisp, that little gay lisp, right? Y chromosome parties. Does that mean like, what does that mean? Is that like gay orgies? What is that?
It's that drug, man. It's that drug, man. I'm just saying, in my opinion, in my little slang talk, okay? Lindsay, I'm so sorry. Tell your yeah, my interest into it. Oh, wait, whoa. Okay, let me go back because there was another one. This one. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, Chris, I've listened to some of your lives before. And my girlfriend has asked me, what on earth am I listening to? I love the way your mind works and ours work very similarly. Oh my God. It's embarrassing, right? Hey, it's so I'm just like, this is not, no, but this is where it brings me. And so I'm glad you understand. Tell her everything's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here. Just kidding. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's true, but I mean, it just seems to be it just like-minded, man. It's like, what's really going on here? What's really going on? And why is this even a thing? Like, why is this even a thing? And then why can't we talk about it? Instead, like, I think I said it last night. I was like, the other night I did a members only live, and I named it, The Sound of Freemasons. And then whenever we got off the live, I got my first little blue box, where it's like, for Freemasons, click here. And I was like, okay, well, I clicked the damn thing. But then I was thinking, I was like, well, I mean, I don't really trust the information that has been disseminated to me all my life that is wrong, because you're lying. Y'all lied, they lied, and they are lying, in my opinion. Not about everything. I'm just saying, I'm just like, whoa. It in my opinion, I like compare it to what it feels like to be in a cult, when you're just like, what? Where have I been? Yeah, how did I get here? And I mean, anyways, indoctrination is a hell of a thing. So I don't think we need to pick and poke at other people. I'm just saying, it's mind numbing and mind blowing, and it takes up a lot of brain space. And I blame Chad and Lori for that. I don't know. They just really, a lot of things didn't track for me. Even with 2 cases adjudicated fully. Okay. I mean, anybody who followed the case knows you saw the same, evidence, you heard the same testimonies, we've been there, done that too. And I'm like, you know, so I only thought we were having 1 trial in Arizona at that time. So I was like, 2 out of 3, I gotta really dig, like, I can't just be sitting here, like, because I'll sit on, and I'm just like, just trying to understand it. Just even the Mormon stuff, like, what is to glean from this? What am I to learn here? And then just trying to make sense of it. That way I can try to make sense of it this way. I compare it to, like, the little baby on, is it Maggie on The Simpsons? And she's always, I think, has the pacifier in her mouth. That's what I felt like, except my friend Jen came along, who is an ex-Mormon, and oh my God, we just clicked. Okay. And again, I was a big outsider. Okay. And so whenever she came along, it was a breath of fresh air, because I would just kind of be sitting there with my imaginary pacifier, and I'd just be pointing at stuff. Like, I don't know. I would send her stuff, and I'd just be like, here, I found this. And she's like, oh my God, you found so much stuff. And we would go back and forth with it. It just it felt so, it was a relief, but still, I mean, still had to truck through all the information. Some kind of clarification or validation, or girl, you were barking up the wrong damn tree. And I mean, she had a dual master's in research for sure. I mean, yeah. So I mean, she kind of taught me things, just by doing things, and I'm an observer, like that's how I've always kind of learned. Yeah. But I do want to show you guys this before we leave today. It was, and now it got deleted or whatever. My video got deleted off of Facebook, whatever. I'm sorry, Angela, and I think Natalie. Yeah, but and why, I don't know, but it is what it is. I mean, I definitely can't recreate, not him, but this. And I mean, I've shared it before, so some of you may have seen it before. Where's it at? It's up here somewhere. My goo. Yeah, all my little Satans. Okay. All right. Let's see. We got this from Twitter.
Ballard's like, dude, okay. He's making this pitch to William Morris Endeavor. He's like, listen, I've seen a ton of child porn. Like tons. I showed some to Jim Cravizell. He can't even talk. Jim Cravizell was like, I will save the soul of the people. He's like, look at him. He's a fucking mess. And the grabbler at William Morris Endeavor's like, why would you show him child porn? He's not leading to an arrest. He's just playing you in a fucking movie. He's like, shh, don't ask any questions. Hollywood Jesus need to see some child porn. And Jim's like, what the fuck? I puked on myself. And then so Tim Ballard's like, okay, remember how much money Sally Struthers made? Just showing the brown kids covered in flies, black kids, they smell like diarrhea, shit, poop. We want to give these Christians the savior mentality. But. And then the grabbler's like, yeah, but starving children. I mean, America's all fucked up now. There's like fucking homeless people everywhere. It's like, yeah. No. We're going to take the same idea. You're forgetting. I've seen a ton of child porn. The grandma's like, can you show it to me? He's like, yeah. Do you want to prepare for a movie? Come on. He's like, okay. So we take the Christian grip, the Sally Struthers horse shit, but we make it about kids getting fucked. And the grandma's like, okay, come on. He's like, yeah, ever since this QAnon horse shit, we got everybody thinking that Hillary Clinton's running around a sewer getting chased by fucking Tom Hanks. They're broken. Okay. So I say we use my credibility, my credentials, and we package it up. We do a Hollywood movie starring all these Hollywood people like Jim Cravizell and Hillary Swank and all that. But won't the people know it's made by Hollywood when it has all these Hollywood people in it and it's literally funded by Carlos Slim, who owns the New York Times? No. They're like retarded now. Okay. So we do this whole fucking campaign, right? Where it's what the media doesn't want you.
Okay. Let me switch to the other one, I think.
To see what Hollywood doesn't want you to see. These movie theaters didn't want to even have the movie. Yeah, it's so fucking stupid. I mean, you're repped by William Morris Endeavor. It's starring Hollywood stars. It's released by the Hollywood system. The guy who funded the movie literally owns the New York Times. How can we possibly say that? You just say it and they believe it. They're retarded. They want to save the children. Okay, so like white children, because we're talking about the right wing here, like nationalism. No, not white children. Nobody that actually gets saved. Nobody in America. Well, so what are we talking about here? The Vatican? Because the Vatican has been. Jim Cravizell was like, no, the Pope. Oh. So how are we possibly going to save any kids, buddy? We're not going to save any fucking kids. Okay. All we do is make them feel like going to a movie. They're saving a kid, a brown kid. Yeah, brown kid. These white bitches always want to save a fucking brown kid, don't they? They can't have it be in Eastern Europe or Russia or anywhere where the kids are white. It has to be a brown. Yes, it's got to be a brown kid because they feel like they're like a pet or like a subhuman, like they're like a chihuahua. Like Paris Hilton has a little chihuahua in her bag. Well, we'll get all these white women to feel like they got their own little chihuahua. They're called Colombians. But isn't this hitting a little close to home? I mean, I'm on it. You're on it. He's fucking on it. This motherfucker wouldn't stop going to the island. No, we don't talk about any actual pedophiles.
Oh, I might have to go switch it because I mean, I think
you just make them these like creepy guys in a jungle, just like trying to steal the children, and we cover them with like flies. Everyone's got a gun. Okay, no, but Tim Ballard, don't even.
Okay, allegedly, whatever.
Tim Ballard, don't even fucking come close to Vegas or Los Angeles or New York or like everybody who funds everyone I know. No, we're not actually fighting pedophilia. We're giving the Christian the savior complex. They're not paying for the kids. They're paying to feel like they're saving something when they're disgusting. Yeah, we've done the analytics. The most porn being consumed right now is in the Bible Belt. They really like naughty sister incest porn. Yes. So they get to watch their pornos and then they get to go to a movie. We'll make it so there's a protest outside the movie. Where are we going to get protesters? We'll pay them. They're all poor. It's just poor people. Just give them money. Just throw Kit Kats at them. They'll fucking protest anything. Well, okay. So they watch their porno. They have broken families at home. They do nothing to actually stop anything. But then they get to go to a movie. But I mean, can we make more money somehow? Yes. How much is a movie ticket? It's like $20, $30 to sit and watch a fucking flickering screen. It's crazy. What if we get these white people, these Christians, to pay for 2 or 3 or 4 tickets for them just to see it once? Why would anyone do that? Because they're porn addicts. They want to save the children, but they don't actually want to save the children. It's like Sally Struthers. Can the children at least be brown? Because if they're actually saving white children, that goes against the clergy plan. We are not going to touch that fucking plan. In fact, this movie will help people normalize that we have to bring survivors over the border. And all these children that have been rescued are now going to live in Minnesota and North Dakota and all these other places. Yeah, what about Maine and New Hampshire? Yeah. Now we're talking. Because those women up there, like, they don't want all these migrants to come in. Their husbands won't be able to make enough money for their fucking Subarus, but they will if they're sex slaves. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so there's that. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. It's just to lighten things up a bit. In my opinion, y'all ready to see some crazy here? Whoa! It's snowing, y'all. It's snowing. And I'm about to go act like a crazy person more than now. And I'm gonna go look at it. I'm gonna go look at the snow fall. I'm scared. Now I'm like, is it some nefarious stuff going on? Are they manufacturing anything? No, just kidding. I mean, but hey, I would put nothing past anybody. Just saying, don't be complete. Look at your surroundings, okay? Yeah. All right. If you don't, then you end up holding a tree up outside while your live stream's going on after some bad weather comes through. Yeah. Oh my God. That's so crazy. I won't eat it. I won't eat it. I promise. I swear. I remember when me and mom went to Rexburg one time. I think it was my first time, and we had just left there actually, and it snowed while I was there, of course, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome." And I was just gaining weight, so it's comfortable for big girls, okay? I was just like, "Oh yeah, 17 degrees, I got this. This is awesome. I'm actually sweating, whatever." And but whenever we left, I saw some video somewhere, and it was like these women or whatever, this video ran across, and they like put their face in it or something, and I don't know, it did something really cool, and I can't remember it now. It snows like maybe once a year here, maybe, if it sticks, which it's gonna snow till tomorrow night. It's all new. Bridges are out. They didn't cancel school till Wednesday, but we know that's gonna extend out because we are coonasses and we don't do snow. We spell snow Sneaux. Okay, snow. But anyways, Wade Hampton said we can get 9 to 11. Ooh, that's what he said. No, I'm kidding. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That video just corrupted me. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Well, y'all be good. Be good or be good at it. I was thinking about doing this again. I know it's crazy, but we're not, this guy has written, and I added a lot to, because I looked in his Substack on Tim Ballard. He's got like 5 different of these holes, except the next, I don't know. I don't know of any other video he has. Okay. So we won't go that route again, but to just start going down it, the other ones, I mean, I really appreciate what he's done and others have done, like what Megan is doing. We're digging. We are diggers. Okay. I used to think it's because I was nosy. My daughter's the same way. We're just inquisitive. I'm an ask hole. ASKHOLE. Ask hole. One. An asshole. Trust me. Oh my God. I put a drink shaker outside so I could measure the snowfall. You crazy. It's fun though, Oh man. Y'all be good and just, enjoy it. Yeah. And thank y'all for being here. Or is that a Southern saying? Wayne is from New Orleans, I think. What, Lil Wayne? Oh yeah, Lil Wayne. Yeah. I used to love Lil Wayne. See, I haven't listened to freaking anything that, that's all I used to do was listen to music, while I'd work. That's the only reason I had a YouTube premium. And anyway, so I could close my phone. Who does that? That's torture, just have your phone open at all times so you can listen to a damn song. And I was trying to be cheap. But anyway, so that's all I used to do. And so I have all kinds of songs that I purchased in my somewhere in my Apple account. And I think about them sometimes and I'm like, yeah, well, that one's out. That one, yep, he's in that club, And so it's just safer for me to just assume that they've all taken part in some, rituals that are probably on film somewhere, but nowhere on a flickering screen for $30. Okay. And I ain't doing it. Anyways, but oh well, this was interesting. That last part right there about the why whatever parties, I was boom. I didn't see that part. So that was a what? That was one of those left hooks there. So, all right. Justice for by Megan, if you're still in here listening on 3 speed. Just kidding. I'm glad you're here. I need to get with you. And I need to get with my hairdresser too. What the hell? I don't like 2 days. I didn't wash my hair today. All right. Justice for Tylee, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe. Love always wins. And you guys are proof of this. I see you, Megan. I see you, girl. Oh, I used to be like, I still probably do. And I'm just too fat to dance. I'm just like, oh my God, I look ridiculous. But no ceilings, mother, whatever, ice cream paint job. That was my song when I was stuck on the island with Anderson Cooper. Okay. Okay. Oh, it was such good money. And I felt guilty because I didn't do anything. I was like, this sucks. I just sat in one of those little trailer thingies. Because, yeah, Larry was so excited when I was packing up to go to Grand Isle because of the oil spill. It's so ironic to be living on a island for Louisiana and to not be able to go in the water. Interesting, right? You're just like, what the hell? But I made bank, man. Woo! But then I couldn't just sit there in that trailer thing. I don't know. I was stir crazy. And so I made my way out onto where I'd count the absorbent boom that they would bring in, the guys that would go out on the boats. Then my boss was like, hey, just got a new boat. Let's go deliver it. So I was like, okay. So I rode with them in the boat. We dropped it off to some of our workers. And then I was like, hey, can I just be on the boat? And then I made my way onto the boat. Then they started calling me Captain K. That was crazy. And then this is funny because, people used to always ask me, like, I don't know. I guess I have a resting bitch face. I don't know. Because this has happened in the refineries too when I worked there. I was a helper. Okay. I was making like peanuts compared to what they were making probably. But they would ask me if I was safety. They would ask me if I was Coast Guard. And I was just like, why? I'm cool. Anyways, but one day so we had this boom, right? And it's allegedly supposed to, contain things on the water, whatever. And the guys were like, and we were anyways, I could stand up and there's like this walkthrough. I don't really know the lingo there either. Okay. But they were like, okay, we got to jump the boom and we're in a damn boat. And I'm like, I'm picturing that in my mind, like jump the boom. We're in a boat. I'm thinking, we are going to catch some air. Okay. Well, so we all have to have our life vest on and everything, but they're like, okay. So they go wide open. And then right when we get to the boom, okay, that I'm thinking we're about to be like, like a damn whatever, flying fish, okay? And so they just trimmed the motor up and we just slid right over it. And I was like, assholes, like they got me, but they never got me again. Anyways, and it was good money. So anyways, justice for Tylee Charles. I already said that. All right. See you guys next round. Just be looking for live stream. And then tell your friends because they know they want to see this too. They don't, but they do. They're nosy. I'm just kidding. Bye, y'all. Y'all be safe. Be good.